And we are live, episode like 432 at this point, it seems like, of Dead is Better, the zombie horror survival apocalypse uh, experience powered by Savage Worlds. Uh, I, as always, am your game master in this setting, Will Thompson. And with me, still surprisingly, somehow, despite all odds, are the original batch of survivors. Uh, we have
Still alive.
OG.
Mike Bowser, we have Mike Skibba, we have Mary Mead, and we have Sean McCrae. I've come to understand, not McCrea, not McCree, not McCree, right? Even though I mean all of these they sound better to me, but McCrae, it's fine because she's cray.
Yeah.
It's McCrae cray is what it is. But moving on. So, in the tradition of, difficult survival horror related questions to break in the evening, I want to know what you think you would do worst
Oh God.
in the poke apocalypse. Take a measure of yourself, right?
Okay.
Your skills
I've
and
got the answer.
weaknesses and all of that, right? And what you would just be shittiest at in the post apocalypse. And why don't we start with Sean tonight?
Um. Well, I guess right now it's like just shooting a gun.
Yeah.
Uh.
Anything offensive combat related to survival?
Yeah. And I guess further on I get better at shooting things,
Oh yeah.
but I still wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to kill a person that was in a zombie.
Right. Well,
So
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah,
If you
theoretically,
live long enough, Sean, you are going to do much worse than that time you kicked that guy into a coma.
yeah, but
Mhm.
I was not planning that.
Right.
It
Just a
wasn't
really dope
premeditated.
soccer kick.
Right. Really good
Yeah.
soccer kick. Yeah, like a 26 on a
Right to the
D4.
fucking
No, it's like a
face.
26 on an unskilled is what it was. You have no fighting
Yeah.
die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our least skilled combatant, by the way, Sean McCrae here. But that'll change. I mean, as the situation develops, that'll certainly change. Why don't we go to Mike Bowser now? Mike Bowser, what do you think you would be shittiest at?
Straight out of the gate, running.
Running?
I don't run. Yeah, running is not a thing that I do anymore.
I'm not a runner, no.
Yeah, I
Now, is it an
I got out of the
endurance
Marine
thing?
Corps.
Knees thing? What is it?
Yes.
All the above. I'm now in my 30s.
Feel
Fuck
that
running.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got out of the Marine Corps and I haven't ran since then.
Not a single step. Yeah. No, I have a general rule that I'm
Yeah.
only running when I'm being chased. And I just don't find myself in that scenario, right? That's just not some shit I do. I do lots of walking. Right. I ride bikes, right? But putting one foot in front of the other and hauling ass, man, I'm good for about 4 blocks and then just eat me. Just fucking eat me. Come on.
Just end it, right?
Yeah. Skibba, how about yourself? What would you be shittiest at? Unmuting your mic would probably be. That would be.
What?
Nobody would hear you. Yeah.
Can you still not hear me?
No, we can.
We can now.
Okay, you can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Besides the running, dealing with the complete crazy, anybody that doesn't have a rational mind,
Right.
that's my hardest. As law enforcement, I can get past it. I can work around it. I can do my job, whatever. But in a situation where law has broken down,
right, where that badge doesn't mean anything. There's no order. Yeah.
I don't know if I could deal with crazy.
Yeah, you do strike me as the kind of person that has set for themselves a set of rules that you live by, right? And if there was a situation where nobody else adhered to those rules anymore, right, I could see that being difficult for sure. Yeah. I mean, because where do you draw the line then? Right now, you know where the line is, right? It's clearly defined. It's written down, right? All of a sudden, those lines don't exist anymore, and you're making decisions. That's a whole other can of worms. Yeah. And last but not least, Mary Mead, what would you be shittiest at in the post-apocalypse?
cardio.
Cardio, same deal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a little difficult to go knees to chest when you use a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So,
Not
So-
shooting innocent people.
I didn't.
Yeah, no
that's
shit.
fine. I have no problem
6-gun
getting.
Mary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It already. Well, yeah. There was already an attempted murder. There's no doubt in our mind you're going to kill an innocent person. Don't worry.
Probably. Yes. No, I'm kidding.
Or,
But yeah, cardio would be rough.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like it's
Getting from
it's the
point A to
pitch
point
perfect.
B. Yeah.
Yeah, pitch perfect where it's like I'm horizontal running. I'm like, yep, that's my cardio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me personally, I think it would probably. I have a bit of a empathy streak, right? Like I always play the good guys in video games, right? Even in my rough and tumble days, I was always kind of a force for good, right? I've always tried to bring no additional harm into the world, right? That's against my ethos personally, right? And that's a situation that would drag out a lot of baggage for me, frankly, because I would be back in a position where sometimes the survival of me and my wife, would necessitate harm, right? And when I put the scales down, right, and I say me and my wife starve or this other family starves, right? I'm not sure that my moral code do no harm survives that scenario, right? And that would trouble me very, very deeply. I would struggle with every one of those things. It would be detrimental to my mental health. And I don't think, I don't think I would handle it well ultimately. I'd revert to headbutting people a lot. No point in regression. But now that we have that established, right? Let's do a bit of housekeeping. I'm going to mention this several times this evening, but one lucky viewer that sticks with us till the end of the program this evening is going to win a free subscription to the channel. That's right, we are gifting a subscription
What?
to a random viewer, a month of ad-free
No.
viewing, access to our growing library of emotes, a special Discord role, and all the gratitudes and platitudes that we can muster, frankly. But
Much gratitude.
be prepared to be sick of hearing about that. So, that brings us to our current scenario, which is a bit of a coinkydink, if I am not mistaken. Because you guys found yourself on the deck of the bridge, and I have this sound set. I don't know where. Oh, that's the. Too many sound sets at this point, folks. I've put too much effort into the show, and now it's all lost. Oh my goodness. There we go. So. Oh wait, what am I? You're on the deck of the bridge, but we need a recap, don't we? I am out of sorts. So, we have decided that how this works, right, is that we have a recap off, right? I need 2 volunteers, right, to each dedicate 1 minute. We got Mike Skibba hand raised, right? Who's the second one? Don't make me pick one of you.
Don't pick me. I can't find my notes.
Oh shit! And he's not even invested enough in this program to remember what happened.
I remember stuff
7 days
happened.
ago. Look at
Yeah.
Skip.
You
Boom.
gotta have your notes. You gotta have your notes.
Sheets of paper. I swear to God, I will roll a
Got
D3
notebook.
right now. I will do it.
I didn't know can I do it this time? I got shunned last time.
Well, last time, I'm just saying it was very
okay.
This man
Okay.
lunged at me with lust and fury in his eyes, and I was forced to just fire a shot in defense in his general direction, not attempting to injure him, of course, but just as a warning that I was dangerous like a hornet. Yeah, no, that 100% was. That's what happened.
Totally.
Yeah, no. So what we will do then is we will have a recap off with Mike Skibba getting 1 minute to provide a combination of the most factual and entertaining 1 minute
Okay.
recap he can, followed then by Mary Mead, who will attempt the same. I will unilaterally, with a godlike authority, declare the winner. But I'm open to suggestions from the audience and the other players as well.
Will,
Yes.
I don't mean to rain on the parade, but the names for Sean and Mary are swapped on the stream.
What in the Sam hell?
What?
My
So
Just have a Freaky Friday
cameras!
moment?
Yeah. All right. Give
new
me a second
viewers
here.
are very confused.
Oh yeah. So
Well, they don't know they need to be confused.
Right. Yeah. You just ruined it. They didn't. They could have been completely blissfully unaware.
Well, every time you say
Yeah.
Mary and the real Mary talks, it's kind of
That's
weird.
true.
The real me.
No.
The real Mary. Wow.
Are you
Racist.
calling me an imposter?
Right.
You are a
please,
fake
you.
Mary. You're a fake Mary, and you know it.
Why is this? Oh my goodness. And they are. Oh, you know what I can do though? Here we go. Professional show. We've been doing this now for months. This is our second season. There we go. Now the names are
Pros.
right.
I know it would have tore you up inside if you.
Oh my god, it
witnessed
would have.
later.
No, seriously. Watching it on the recap, and I would have been like halfway through because I wasn't paying attention to the
Yeah.
UI, and then my eye would have caught it, and I would have just started screaming internally. Yeah. So thank you. But that is
You got
sorted,
it.
and we are on to the recap off. So,
Recap off.
I am thinking between a number between 1 and 10. Whichever one of you gets closest gets to pick who goes first, because both have strategic advantages. So I have the number established. 3 from Mike Skibba. Mary Mead.
7.
Holy shit, it was in fact 7 on the dot. Mary Mead, who is giving the first recap.
All right. So who goes first? Is that what we're choosing right now?
Yeah, you're choosing who
Or-
goes first. Now, if
okay.
you go first, right, you get a chance to dazzle with the performance, really set the bar, right? But if Skibba goes first, right, you know what the competition is, right? You know what you have to beat. So
I'm
both
gonna go second.
go
I
second.
think.
Skibba's
You
going
always
first,
choose
and
to kick.
I don't know. Well, yeah, you always get the ball in the second half. Come on, but
Yep.
I know sport reference. But
Very good
Go
one, too.
team.
all right, Mike Skibba, you have 1 minute starting on the clock now.
All right. So episode 3 started us off at a cliffhanger of a night. We finally got some rest in the second security room. We had taken the Corporal Savini hostage. We had him in the jail cell. We were getting some sleep. And sure enough, wouldn't you know, all that damn commotion, the damn zombies are breaking in. So we got our first horde fight coming in through the doors. Savini asking for a weapon. Sure enough, Kirkland says, give it to him. I give him a knife so he doesn't have a gun so he can shoot us. But we lock ourselves in the cells, trying to be strategic, and the horde comes in. Mr. Bowser going 5 for 5, missing 1 shot, but yet still hitting 5 zombies in the head. Helps clear out the room. But as
Time.
this happened, son of a bitch.
You have managed to describe practically the same amount of the episode as you had time to describe it, but it was
Sounds exciting.
emphatic. You nailed the excitement factor.
Yeah, you hit the good part.
Yeah,
Where I shot
yeah.
5 zombies with.
Yeah. I rescind my cast vote suddenly. Mary Mead, you have 1 minute on the
Alright.
clock starting now.
Okay, so instantly we wake up and there's pounding on the door and we're just freaking out because there's horde coming. So we come up with a plan that we're gonna stay inside the jail cells, so that way they can't come and stab us. Each of us have 2 to a jail cell, and these zombies stream in, but as fate would have it, they're not after us. They're after whatever's in the armory. So we try and get rid of as many zombies as possible. Bowser does great. I was able to shoot 2. And we finally kill the last one. We get out and we see that a lot of these weapons are missing parts. So that means that these smart zombies were able to know that we could shoot them with a gun. That is a huge development. And they were ordering the other zombies to go and do the plan. We know we're outnumbered and we need to start thinking. And one of the main points is
So you got about 45 seconds further into the episode than he did. Can I give people half a Benny each? I mean, that was pretty. That was tied up. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, so there are
I give
three.
it to Mike because Mike put my achievement out
He
there.
put a little mustard on it. He put a little mustard on it.
did.
Sean, who do you give it to?
Man, I'm with you. I kind of wish half a Benny. Those are both really good.
Yeah, they were
Though,
equally.
Mary did get a little further, but
A little further? Yeah, all right, well.
She mentioned smart zombies.
Are you going to leave? Oh, she did. That was a huge
Mhm.
plot development. Damn.
yeah.
But we don't call them zombies, so you lose
No.
all credit.
Yeah, so
Ah,
actually,
shit.
all
Son of
bennies
a-
are removed. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you both a Benny because I really,
Aww.
I can't
Good
decide. I mean, between the two of them, they both had their merits. But now for the real recap. All right, so these sons of bitches backed themselves into a security room with one exit and were assaulted by a horde of no less than 28 of the husks. Right? They rushed into the room, some of them with the same kind of bestial, mindless movements, but others with an intent. Indeed, they had entered the armory, removed some helmets and the mechanisms from some of the pistols, reducing the number that could be reassembled to but 2 out of the entire armory with all the parts. So a pretty thorough job of it. The party then traipsed about the ship, gathering survivors, each encountering an individual horror, not at all tailored toward their personal, preferences. A number of survivors, nearly 300, were in fact gathered in the ship auditorium, right? Including amongst their number several injured people, right? A group of children that don't have parents, right? A religious woman kicking a crowd up into the fervor by the name Mrs. Harton, right? And, a various smattering of other people that we were just going to refer to as, bodies, because, well, let's be honest here, right? But, from the auditorium, then, they proceeded to confront the owner of the vessel, one Mr. Forsyth, in his private cabin, where he unloaded a .38 revolver, striking Mike Bowser 3 times in his body armor. It maintained throughout the assault somehow, despite the dice odds getting worse and worse with every shot. I was not able to kill him. Right? He was not in the mind for headshots, but at any rate, he shot, Bowser, in retaliation, shot Mr. Forsyth in the leg. Right? They patched up the wounded Corporal Savini, right, who had been clipped in the neck by a stray bullet in the encounter from Mr. Forsyth's gun, and then we're in the process of escorting him to either security or back to the auditorium. It wasn't really established. When a Coast Guard vessel was spotted on the horizon, everybody went out on the deck to fire off the flare gun into the gathering storm and hurricane, right? When it became apparent that the Coast Guard vessel was not in fact slowing, and it crashed into the side of the ship, punching a hole in it and irreparably damaging the Coast Guard vessel. This is where we were left off last week, on the aforementioned deck of the ship. The hurricane whipping up, you guys dragging a sobbing and wounded Mr. Forsyth, and Kirkman saying, "We've got to get back to the auditorium."
Did anybody else notice the driver of that cutter?
Yeah, it was smart. It was another one.
Another one of the
It was,
Piloting.
it was a husk. It's not just this boat.
It's on the mainland then. It makes sense now.
Or it's like an
Okay.
ocean-borne disease, But yeah.
Yeah, at the very least, it's out here on the water.
Do You all are getting drenched.
What do you say we throw this faster overboard
Yeah.
and head back to the
Yeah.
auditorium?
I would advise against it. I'm I'm a major plot development. Oh, my leg. Oh Lord, my leg.
Shut up or I'll shoot you again. Can you walk back to the auditorium?
Ah, he can limp. It's a through and through. You know, you didn't hit the bone.
We can fix that if he gives me any more lip.
Right, of course, yeah. Kirkman's certainly not treating him kindly.
Alright. Let's head back inside. We need
You
to
guys-
figure out a way
Organize
the
getting off
ship.
this boat.
Going back to the auditorium. Excellent. So, now we have to go back here. We go here. We go na. I totally have this all planned out. Why are there so many timeshares?
Hey, maybe we can. I wonder if they have keys to the timeshares on them. We can find Cody and give him a visit.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, there will definitely be. I'm surprised you guys haven't sought them out, frankly.
I know, right?
I'm just wondering if the price is lower now. You know?
Oh, on the timeshares?
Maybe-
Probably not.
Maybe we get like a discount for all the shit we've been through.
So,
How about just like 500 a year? That's made us
Yeah.
stay in this.
Beach adjacent is what we're looking
Beach
for.
adjacent.
beach adjacent. I'm telling you, it's just 6 blocks from the beach. Quarter mile. But, no, that was a lifetime ago. God, it has been like 30 hours,
Seriously.
and it was a lifetime ago. It's strange how that can happen
Long
sometimes when, you know,
time.
people come back to life. But as you guys enter the auditorium, right, you see Mrs. Harton with a Bible raised above her head. And it seems now, instead of 20 or 30 people, that she
Oh,
has
Jesus
about
Christ.
120 people gathered around her. No atheists in the foxholes. And a man walks briskly up to you. He is a dark-haired gentleman, swarthy skin, clean-shaven, wearing a polo shirt, clearly just another member of the, participants in this hell cruise. And he says, we need to talk.
Is this like someone we
I'm like,
know?
who's
Nope,
Or is it
never
like
seen him before in your life.
a random?
Just a rando. Mm-hmm.
Do you want? I can deal with it.
Mary, don't shoot him.
Yeah, no
Well,
shit.
That's not what I mean. I'm right next to the zealot. Obviously, I would take it out back first. Anyway, but I will be. Sir, what seems to be the problem? Here, let's go talk over here. I'm trying to politely, give him
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to give you the impression I was addressing you. I was talking to the head of security.
All right.
Snap.
At least
Hey.
he's,
Hmm?
you know, at least he's well spoken about it. You know?
Yeah, he's not
That's true.
rude. He's just, this guy here is, he's still wearing the badge and shit. He's covered in blood. He's got that 1,000-yard stare,
Yeah, he killed a woman earlier.
Right, well, yes, he did. He shot her right through the kidney, and she bled out in under a minute. It was horrific, but it was not intentional.
Neither was
Six-gun
Mary's.
It was
It
mine.
wasn't. She didn't intend to miss.
Technically.
You're right. She did not intend to miss. But, he says, we have a few pregnant women in here, and one of them is due in a few weeks, and she has started to go into labor. There is no medical staff on. I mean, we got one nurse here, and he is completely unequipped for the situation at hand. In addition to that, Miss Harton over there is really starting to rattle some nerves, and people are really starting to faction up with her on this whole Wrath of God thing. I would recommend that we keep an eye on that situation, because fanaticism is a dangerous thing and likely to develop.
That's really
Kirkland, I don't know how soon she's going to be going into labor, but if it's close, I can assist with that. I've
And I have
delivered
first aid
before.
training, so
Oh, that would be fantastic if you guys could go see to that situation. I imagine
course.
she's up on the stage behind the curtain in the sick area. We have all the medical stuff cordoned over back there. You know what, Bowser? Just don't even. That facial expression right now, I need you to just stop.
That face.
that is out of character
fucking
information.
No, you said medical area, and that is what my character is afraid of.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got the
Yeah.
major phobia in like the very first episode. Yeah. So
Yep.
you will
Yeah.
not be
Medical
going behind the
exam
curtain.
areas.
Yeah.
I will stand out here.
I guess I'll stay with Bowser because I've watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy, but that doesn't mean shit. So.
Right. Right. You would be really good at making out in a closet
Thank
with somebody
God.
that you weren't supposed
Jesus.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, does somebody need me to make out with a colleague on the sly? Cause I mean, I
I
got
got
you,
you.
but yeah, delivering a baby, I'm afraid Grey's Anatomy is outside of that wheelhouse. But
Just a little.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not completely medically trained, so if there's any complications to this, I ain't gonna be able to help. But I can do the.
It's easy.
Yeah,
Just pick her up and shake it out.
a
No.
young woman in very
No.
high stiletto heels and a short skirt, right? Like very Louis Vuitton, you know what I'm saying? Comes lilting
Well, I
up,
appreciate her.
and she
taste.
goes, "Oh, Douglas, what's happened to you?" And she's talking to Mr. Forsyth.
Oh God, it's his. Oh,
His evermore.
oh, it's his
Yes.
Eliza. Okay.
It's his secretary, and she was hired on her merits.
Ooh, yeah.
And you
She's
can
getting
see
it.
those
Yeah.
merits bounce over to him titillatingly. And
What
he's
God
clearly,
Dr.
I mean,
Workman gave her.
he's clearly been crying, right? Like, didn't one of you punch him as well? Or was it just the
Yeah.
shot in the leg? No, it was just a shot in the leg.
We zip tied him.
That's
I
right.
only
Yeah.
shot him.
I
Yeah.
tried to zip tie him, but
She sees the bloody
Oh.
bandage on his leg and his hands tied behind his back, and she goes, "What's the meaning of this? Oh, Douglas, are you their captive?" And he puts on a brave face and he goes, "No, my dear, it's a simple misunderstanding, but I mean, there's like snot, you know, like, he was crying big gobby tears, right?
ugly crying.
Yeah, it's
Total
not
ugly crying.
a situation that, but she seems oblivious to it, whether it's because he pays her $120,000 a year to do nothing, or she has genuine feelings for him, would require a notice roll.
Sure.
I'm
I
gonna
am a
execute this
nosy
guy.
person.
Have already gone.
Yeah,
have already
sure.
gone back to the
I'm
nurse's station.
so freaking nosy.
Yeah. Oh, I need to remove that Joker bonus, but you got it anyway there.
Still got it.
Hey,
Hey, neither of you get to raise, unfortunately. But,
I know, I'm really sad.
that would have revealed something neat.
Mm.
No, it wouldn't have.
Alright.
Yeah, it would have, but
Fine,
Yeah.
I'll take a notice.
yeah.
I don't care.
It just doesn't even matter what fucking
It was
game
a
you're
trait
playing.
one. Thank
Yeah.
God that trait is a natural one.
Right?
That
Well,
was
he's
just-
saving those. He's saving those.
Uh,
It is clear to you that this gal has genuine feelings for him, and she's working herself up into a little bit of a tizzy about it, you know?
Mm.
It should be mentioned that the age gap between them is 40 years if it's 5, you know?
Oh.
Like, she's got to be maybe 22 at most.
Daddy issues.
I thought he was like late 30s
Oh, no.
or something.
No,
He's
it's
50s?
silver at the temple. He's in his late 50s,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Early 60s,
okay.
maybe even. Now, he's a distinguished older Geriatric fellow that you shot in the leg.
Oh, okay.
Makes me feel better.
Right, of course it does. Well, I mean, why would it not? So, what are we doing, folks?
Well, I think Skiba and I are going to see about the pregnant woman.
She is clearly well in labor, sweating, getting the
Okay.
deep breaths going. The guy, the nurse guy, is trying to look up Lamaze on his phone, but it's,
Oh God.
Can any of you get a signal?
No. Look.
I'm Deputy Skiba. I've actually had some experience with delivering babies before. Do we know if there's any complications?
I mean, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, aside from the fact that it's 4 weeks early, we need some towels and some hot water. That's about as far as I've gotten. Like, I don't.
Yeah, we need towels, hot water. We need
Yeah, just get her comfortable.
sterilized. We need something where she won't feel too stressed out.
Yeah, I'll just
So
bang out
maybe
the autoclave and give her some Vicodins. No big deal.
No.
No, he doesn't have an autoclave or Vicodin. He's got nothing. He's got.
Okay.
He's still he's
I
trying
was
to
kinda
find.
scared. He's like, oh, I've been shooting her up for like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how long, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
No, that baby's high as fuck.
I go up to the mom, sit beside the mom and hold her hand and let her know who I am and that hey, we've done this before. Is this going to be your first child?
Have you seen Kyle?
I'm
My
sorry, ma'am, I
husband,
don't know who
Kyle.
No, ma'am, I have not seen Kyle.
I haven't seen him since
I'm
last
looking-
night.
Is she injured at all?
She doesn't appear injured, no. I
Okay.
mean,
I do want to give her the once over then.
Zombie.
right, no,
Okay.
yeah, it turns out right on her inner thigh, right next to where the baby's, there's just a bite mark. Yeah, no. Nothing like that. No, she's just going into labor,
Okay.
Alright, I just want
Not
to calm her
that
down.
fucked up. Gee, come
That's
on.
Sorry.
I'm sure Kyle will get here as soon as he can. But right now, you need to worry about you. You need to worry about the baby.
Hot tip, Kyle
Just-
ain't coming.
Figured that.
Oh, we all know
Yeah.
Kyle ain't coming.
We all know. Will there be bunnies? Yes, there will.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
But have you been to any of the Le Mans classes or anything like that?
I mean, back in nursing school, man, but I mean, that is
no,
hardly
I'm asking.
qualifying.
I'm asking. Most pregnant
Oh, the
women
lady?
by this
Yeah,
stage,
yeah, no,
the lady-
she's been through some. She knows the breathing and all that for sure.
All right. Do you know if there's been any complications? Has your doctor told you to worry about it?
I mean, I wasn't supposed to give birth, but no, everything's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
There we go.
Gotcha.
then hopefully we'll be in for a rough time, but you and the baby will be fine. We've got everything we need. I'm gonna make sure we have everything we need. So
There is
I'll be
no
right
hot
back
water
with
or
you.
towels currently, so.
We're gonna have to make do.
We got
Mhm.
somebody we got jackets. I'm sure somebody around here has got some kind of clothing that'd be soft
Can
enough.
at least. I have alcohol and water bottles that might help. But I'm just gonna sit next to her and just kind of get her to talk to me
Mhm.
as a way of trying to divert her attention from like what she's feeling in a way.
Yes,
like,
officer.
tone-
Yes, lady. Yes, officer. Yes, lady. Are you both just squeezing her hands like she's white knuckle gripping
No,
him?
I mean-
Actually, I've left. I need to
Okay,
find.
alright, yeah. You're trying to find the
I need to
towels.
find this stuff
and the hot water,
Find
yeah.
the towels.
I'm gonna
Also
just.
need to find clamps. Something that I'm going to use is to clamp the umbilical cord in
I
two
believe
places.
that's why God gave you teeth, sir.
Well, I mean, as long as we have like
No.
a shoelace or something,
No.
we can.
Hey,
do
when in
that.
Rome.
No. 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 No.
You just gotta eat the placenta. It's the only way.
Shoelaces
no.
will work.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Moving back to Mr. Forsyth, and are you ready for this? Bunny.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy right now.
Oh, jeez.
Why couldn't it be Tiffany? But Bunny is just so much better.
Tiffany.
Why do you guys have him
Samantha.
handcuffed? What's going on? Is this because of the soldier, Douglas?
What do you know about the soldiers, Bunny?
That they fight wars for our freedom, sir.
Cut the shit. I already shot him once. So if you don't want me to do it
You
again,
shot
tell
him?
me what you know. Yes.
Oh my God, Douglas, this man shot you? She
Don't make
goes
me
to
do it
like
again
put
in front of all these
herself
people.
in between the two of you and says, "You're going to leave him alone." And in fact, right, she is going to start impotently clapping at
Oh
you.
God.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I will hit a bitch, Sean. You better get this.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Uh,
just kind of grab her by her shoulders and like
And I mean, it
push
is
her away. 'Cause
completely. I mean, it is. It's ineffectual. It might.
Okay.
It seems to you
Grab her
like
wrist
it. You know,
instead.
I'm not trying to say there's a certain kind of person that thrives on drama, right? That might be stereotypically assigned to a gender and an age bracket, right? But were I to, rely on a completely inaccurate trope,
Yeah.
she's 100%. I mean, this is for attention. I mean, you know, ah, ah, like, oh, you're so strong though. I mean, ah.
Yeah, grab her by her wrist and just like kind.
Give
Put
me
her
a
hands
strength
down.
roll,
Oh,
opposed
fuck.
by
Please tell me
Bunny's
she has a
strength roll.
D4.
Oh, of course,
Please,
come on.
God, tell me she has a D4.
I've got a D4.
Bunny doesn't do CrossFit, all right. Bunny does those she does those electric band exercises where it's like
Bunny
2
does
pounds.
Pilates.
She does
Right.
pole
Bunny does
dancing.
Pilates.
Yeah, well,
She does pole
she's
dancing.
gonna do
That's
pole dancing after Mr. Forsyth fires her because I mean, again, she was hired for her merits. But, Sean, yeah, you easily overpower her. And she goes, "You're strong too." No, she doesn't.
Yeah, not my type.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
she seems to settle down though with the physical intervention. You know, she's what are you guys going to do to Douglas? I love him so much. Please don't kill him.
Just tell me what you know, and there will be no more issues.
All I know is that he said we had to get on a boat because this boat was going to go underwater because he was hiring some serious men. That's all he tells me.
And you got on the boat knowing it was going to go underwater?
Well, he told me that we would be safe and I just needed to pack an extra coat because it might be chilly.
What did he tell you about being safe? About staying safe?
Well, just that we would get onto one of the craft you see hanging on the side of the deck, and that the Coast Guard would come pick us up, and that it would be an exciting adventure for me to Instagram about.
Yeah.
Did you guys go to Fire Island?
No.
Somebody went to Fire Island, sure.
You guys know me?
Being fired upon.
I mean, I'm kind of an influencer.
Oh God.
No.
I'm so glad I'm not talking to her right now. Oh,
Yeah.
What's your Insta? She says, and she pulls out a pink iPhone and tries to log on to Instagram and gets frustrated that there's no cell connection.
I think I'm gonna go over there, Bowser.
Really
Yeah.
funny though, Mary?
We
Yes, Bunny, my favorite.
yeah, Sean, I think we've
I can listen to this all day.
I think we've reached the end of what Bunny has
information.
in her
I
head.
don't really. She has much more to share with us. It's any content. Okay. All right. Bye, Bunny.
Kirkman and Savini have taken Mr. Forsyth and roughly set him down in one of the seats in the front of the auditorium, and Bunny is sitting next to him, just fawning over him. He will require a notice roll. Holy
Ooh.
shit.
I finally hit one, and then
Yes.
Sean
holy
decides to
shit.
go nuts.
Sean,
Yeah.
he is weeping silently. Like he,
Forsyth?
Forsyth is, yeah. It appears as though the events of the evening have spiraled completely out of his control or the scope of what he intended, and he lives a pampered billionaire existence, right? Like he's not handling this well mentally. He's not handling being shot in the leg well. Like it appears to you with that many raises, Christ, that he's on the edge of having some kind of mental breakdown for sure. And Bunny is not helping. Strangely, it's not. She's.
No, yeah, I wonder why.
Mhm.
So a simpering
Um,
idiot doesn't help in a time like this? Is what you're saying?
You look
Yeah,
over
that's
and
what
she
I'm
is
getting from all
blowing
of this.
massive vape rings.
Bunny?
Yeah. Oh no, she vapes. Yeah.
She vapes. Of
Yeah.
course she vapes. Is it cotton candy flavored?
Yes!
Give me a notice roll.
With that 21, she notices it.
Yeah, no shit. No, it's some kind of passion fruit guava. Like
Oh,
it's way too
jeez. Oh,
sweet smelling. It like lingers in the air, settles on the fabric.
ugh.
Yeah. No, it is
Yeah.
the absolute worst kind of vape smell. Just that. Oh my
Okay.
Christ, what are you doing? It's
Oh,
like if
God.
somebody combined like fake fruit flavoring with Starburst and then blew it in your face.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yep.
Also, you again with a notice roll with a raise on it. She digs in her little tiny purse for a second, and then goes,
Okay. Fucking druggy. Alright. I don't know what to do with all this. Okay.
"Yeah, you got a lot of information off those two notice rolls." You're like,
Yeah.
"Good lord."
Um.
She's doing a little booger sugar, a little talk chalk, you know,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
something. It could be pills, you know. Let's not put her into a box just yet.
No, no, I don't see her as a type who'd be sniffing. No, why? Nothing. Okay.
It could be Molly for all you know. We're gonna have a good time in here. Woo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody turn on the lights. Yeah, Bunny is not going to be an asset, is the impression everybody has gotten. Mike Skibba, I am going to need an investigation roll.
Oh my. You would think that would be something that I would have on there.
You really would. Does not matter, even somehow untrained, Master Deputy Mike Skibba, untrained in the art of investigation. I mean, you need at least a D4 in that. Go ahead and give yourself at least a D4 in that. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
But with that roll, you manage to procure both water bottles and towels. The water is not hot, but it is room temperature. And will likely have to suffice given the fact that you guys are in an auditorium.
All right. Is there that medical nurse or anybody that's around there?
Just that one guy
Are they
that
near?
was trying to Google, how to deliver a
One
baby.
MD.
And he has
Alright.
a first aid kit with him, but I mean, we're talking like gauze, a splint,
Oh yeah. Nothing that's going to help. I
Right.
needed the towels and
Mhm.
the water to clean. God, we don't even have any kind of suction. Is there? I'm going to tell him that we're going to need to move her as soon as possible. So find me a table or a flat surface that we can put her on after we deliver this baby, because we're going to be leaving.
Mary, it is
Yes.
clear that her contractions are increasing in frequency. Starting to
Okay, I'm
dilate,
gonna-
she's starting to yell a little. It's making people real nervous.
Okay, I'm gonna like sit next to her and I'm just gonna kind of lead her through like a basically breathing in through her nose, out through her mouth, and basically breathing in and then letting the pain out as she breathes, and to like
Where
talk
the
to her
fuck
about
is
Kyle.
Kyle?
We're looking for him, but you gotta do this for. Is it gonna be a little boy or a little girl?
Ah!
I get in the catcher's position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
I am going
trying
to need medicine rolls.
Okay.
-2. None of you have ever delivered a baby.
I have first aid training.
Not
Yeah.
true.
Oh, you've delivered a baby, Skipper? You get to make
I
yours
have.
flat.
Wow.
Goddamn deputy.
But it
Skip.
is still.
Untrained, yeah. Ooh,
Ooh,
yikes.
dropped it.
Grabs the baby's
so-
head and just twists
Yeah.
as he pulls it out.
At this point, isn't it an
So
agility?
mod wise, what is it? I do have medicine training, knowledge medicine, as a D6. So I didn't know if that would.
Yeah, I mean, you're rolling knowledge medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, if there's any kind of complication
There we go.
whatsoever,
We're good.
I won't be able to.
We have successfully delivered a little girl.
Yes.
Relatively
Oh, nice.
simple as far as that goes. You know, I've never witnessed one because I'm not a pervert and I've never, I've never created one, you know. But, it's a little girl, floppy, kind of squelches a little, covered in all the, grossness that humans are born into the world with.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Give me a
towel her
notice.
off.
Notice roll.
Notice. Okay.
Skip a notice roll.
Hey. Yeah.
Ooh. A lot of blood. Wow, Mary. That's a lot of blood.
Oh, she's hemorrhaging. Okay, this is not good.
I can't.
So yeah, we're gonna.
I don't know. I can't help from the inside. I can't help.
You have to put pressure up there, and we need a lot of towels. We're gonna need a lot of towels.
And like a speculum, and like, my God.
Well, there's a midwife technique that you add a lot of pressure, and it's.
You just need some
it's-
Vaseline. You just gotta plug the gap, right? That's the idea.
Can I call for
I would get a -4 at these
woman to
rolls,
come?
clearly, but a woman to
Can
come?
I-
Yeah, there are several women.
that will take the baby away and make
Yeah,
sure
warm it
towel-
up, make sure.
Yeah.
and
And I'm gonna try and not show stress, because that's not gonna help the situation. But I am gonna start assessing and gonna go tell Skipper we need a lot of towels.
She has lost consciousness.
Oh shit!
Baby's fine. A little small, but
Yeah.
fine.
and we have tied off the cord and cut the cord and
Yeah,
all
I'm
that.
assuming with that medicine roll, we managed to get through all the steps without describing them in horrific.
There's no way with the tools that we have that I can stop this. I'm gonna tell Skipper that I don't know. Like, this is above my pay grade.
Shit. Well, she wasn't bitten. Do we
No,
know?
but if the babies come this early, there's so many complications that can happen. And if it's what I think it is and she's hemorrhaging, by the way, I'm trying to do what I know of that midwife term and try and like, I don't want to explicitly
I mean, what
describe.
you're doing sounds right,
but-
but we can't do anything. We don't have the tools. She's going
I've
to
got to
pass.
try. It's
I don't have
the
a sound
medical
set
person
for
in
this,
me.
but
I have to try.
that's everybody there's a big black sensor bar over the scene. Mary
Yes.
attempts to
Yeah,
palpate
Go
some
in.
To try.
gloves free.
yeah, just
I
elbow
have
deep.
gloves, by the way, so I'll put my gloves on.
Yeah, but you're elbow
Um,
deep. I mean, you're just gonna lose a glove is all that's gonna happen here.
It's fine.
There go the ring. So
No,
I'm
no.
gonna try.
all right, give me a medicine roll at a -4.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep track of her vitals on her.
Very faint pulse,
no.
eyes lolling back in the head.
But as long as she still has a pulse.
Nope.
That's what I'm.
And she no longer has a pulse.
Shit. Um,
Mary, you are
she's
covered in all kinds of blood. You were down there in the, I guess, the firing range, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like your outfit, your knees, you know, all that shit.
Yeah.
Hands soaked in blood.
Uh,
Lady's pale,
it's
not
done.
breathing, pulse gone.
yeah, she's passed. We need
That's
to do
it.
something with her, like either
Now,
secure her, wrap her in these towels really tightly.
well, you saw what happened when the bodies were in the infirmary. Like,
I'm clearing those.
we need to get her away and manage this.
I mean, if we just tie her up really good right now,
We
where she
can't
can't
have
get free.
someone seeing.
Yeah, I mean, having a
We
tied up
need to
lady
get
back
her
here
out
going,
of
zombie
here."
noise! Zombie noise is going to be great for morale. 100%, yeah.
Well,
We've already got the fucking crazy religious people.
I,
We don't need this.
I yell for Kirkland. Kirkland, we
He-
need you up here now.
Slides the curtain over, steps back, surveys all the wounded people,
I'm
looks
shutting
down
it
at the
behind
puddle of
him as
blood.
fast as I can.
It's like Kirkland. She delivered the baby. Baby's fine, but
She
she's
hemorrhaged.
gone. She's passed. We need to do something with her before she turns. Or
We've got to get her the fuck out of here is what we've got to do.
Yeah, we need to.
But how do we get him past this crowd? I mean, we can't just carry this lady out and throw her in the hallway in front of all these people.
No, but
That's
is
gonna
there a
cause a
back?
panic.
Usually, on the stage, usually in the back of the stage, there's like a
Ooh,
waiting
I am
room
afraid if
type
you were to
thing.
look at the map, there is not. There is an exit stage right in front of the stage. But that would
where's
still be
Savini?
Savini. Oh, that's a great question. Nobody has been keeping track
And
of Savini.
Savini.
Give me a notice roll.
We don't know about what Bowser and Sean are doing, but
That's true. Oh shit, skip it. You see him sat behind Forsyth in the row chairs behind him, but there are only 2 of his men with him.
That's fine. I motioned to Savini. Like I need a knife.
He gets the gist. He walks over and he goes, "Here you go." Lots of bruising apparent on the area around where he was clipped. Doesn't seem to be
All right.
freshly bleeding anymore. It's dried up.
And are we behind the sheets and the covers?
Yeah. I mean, you're behind the curtain. Yeah. Are you gonna get
No. Yeah.
Why did I make you make a guts roll? You know, give me a spirit roll. That's what I want for stabbing this lady through the eye with this knife.
if he can't do it, I will do it. Just.
Well, it's not
as
an issue
a
of whether or
reason.
not he can do it. He's gonna do it either way. But whether or not it affects him a little.
I am not a religious person.
Yeah.
To me, a body is a body is a body.
Yep. Well, and that was clearly expressed there. So, yeah, you plug her through the eye, and she's dead. Still dead. Not anymore dead.
And we cover her up.
Yeah.
I keep the knife.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, we resolved that. Anything, buddy? Anything different with Bunny and Forsyth that we're interested in? Have you guys expended your interest in Bunny?
I just want to keep her around forever right now.
Kirkland
Oh yeah,
is-
no,
is-
let
That's
Bunny
my
be the one
personal
NPC that comes
player
with you.
opinion right now. Like,
And watch,
love
Bunny
her
turns
so
into
much.
this like tank girl-esque badass,
Yes!
you know? Like,
yes, I see it now. Yes.
There's room
I
for
want
character
that
growth.
so bad.
There's
I
room for
don't
character
mind
growth.
There's a ton of room for character growth.
So much fucking room.
It can only go up from here. No, I'm interested in getting the hell off the ship.
Yeah, we gotta go because it's sinking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but sure.
There is a fellow to telling stories about knights and castles to a group of clearly scared children.
Okay.
He stands
About
up.
what? Castles?
Castles and knights and
Castles.
keeping their
Okay.
minds off what's going
Gotcha.
on here. A story about
Mm.
dragons and dungeons, and not the other way around.
Yeah.
About a savage world, where
Mm,
cowboys reign supreme and detectives are cool and there are pirates and
pirates everywhere, yeah.
he neglects to mention the one show we do a week where people's throats are ripped out by the ravenous undead, because he's trying to keep these kids,
Because he's
relatively
Spirits
happy.
light.
By the way, 7 viewers, we are giving away a free sub at the end of the episode tonight, so stick around and win a chance to watch us for a
Wow.
month without ads, with all our emotes on display, with a special Discord role. Wow, just wow. But he stands up, right? A young girl takes over, right? Who has exhausted his stories, and he walks over to Kurtman. He says, "Are you in charge here?" And Kirkman said, "Nobody's in charge here, man, but I guess." And he says, "One of these little boys has been separated from his parents. They were up on the Constellation deck in the casino. He hasn't seen them in nearly 24 hours. Can we do anything about that?" Kirkman kind of looks around. "I don't know, guys. Can we do anything about
Yeah.
that?"
Am I with Kirkland now? Or-
Yeah, you can be back.
Oh, okay. We
I was hoping I could like change into
Kirkland, we
something in my
just had to
bag.
run in with a cutter. Are we taking on water?
Yeah, but
I mean, we need to evacuate this boat.
I have a limited understanding of this ship, but my understanding is it's just the forward compartments beneath the water line that should take on water at this point. We'll start to list, but we shouldn't go under unless anything else occurs. And you best
Fair
believe me,
chance of that happening.
when this ship starts to list noticeably, these people are going to panic.
That's why we need to get some parties out ready to go. We need to collect food. We need to collect water.
Yeah.
We need to get medical supplies.
We need to get these
we need to
lifeboats
talk
and
to
see what.
Savini.
A nurse walks up to Kirkman and he says, "A couple of the injured people back there are starting to run some really high fevers."
I tell him away from everybody. Listen, I don't know. If these people pass while they're here, we can't have them turning.
I mean,
It
we
would
got
cause a
nearly a
riot.
dozen people back there burning up right now.
Then we need to do what's necessary.
What are you
I'm not
suggesting,
talking
lady?
They could still get better. We don't know.
Yeah, they could have food poisoning. Jesus, Mary. What is...
Well, the
I-
last guy
I-
that had food poisoning ran a really high fever and then
I just-
turned.
He died.
Does anybody have a
first.
Tums?
If they're
Bam,
gonna
bam,
die.
bam! You know? Like, shit.
At least wait until they pass.
Yeah, that
Well,
seems to be
let's
an
wait.
effective way to deal with it. I mean, you dealt with the pregnant
I
gal.
agree.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. We wait till
If-
they pass,
if-
but I think
if-
we need
if
to
they-
secure them
they-
off in a different area. Like, we can't keep them with all the sick if it's something like a term that's passing.
Welcome,
so.
God Mode, and your raiding party of 7. You're a magnificent
Yeah,
bastard.
God mode.
Hey.
We love God Mode here at the channel.
We
If you're one of
do.
our regular viewers, you need to also follow God Mode, because they do good shit. They do real good shit. But they got that freaky kind of Spelljammer feel going on there, where they're, cyborgs and magic and monkey people and nonsense. It's all very fantastic. We don't roll 20s over here, sir. We roll D4s. How dare you? How dare you impugn on the sanctity of the Savage Worlds? Hashtag bless indeed.
Yes, hashtag bless.
Oh shit, look at this new follower even. The raid is bearing
Ooh.
fruit. Yes, Lone Wolf,
Alright.
welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. We like
Welcome.
that.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, it's still making noises. So many noises. New cheer. God Mode is taking off there, 400. He is the clear
Oh,
leader
God
on the
Mode.
leaderboard. I think a couple
Nice.
hundred bits at this point, in fact. So,
Wow.
if you don't want that completely dominated by one name, like my name might be at the top of his channel. No, it's neither here nor there, but, I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad to see you guys. So,
I asked that nurse, I was like, do you have any problem separating the people that have passed as soon as they pass, separate them from the group? And do you have any problem
I mean, there
making
is.
sure that they can't come back? Can we leave
Oh,
that in your hands while we go deal with this?
I took an oath, yo. I'm not stabbing anybody through the eyeball. I don't even understand what that shit's about. If you want somebody to notify you when one of these people dies so you can get all freaky deaky back there, that's your deal.
Well,
But I'm
we
here to
need to get
save
the-
people.
Yes, and that's the right thing to do, but we need to get the people that are running these fevers into a separate area, because it could be like an infection that's kept passed like by bacteria. A fever's the time when bacteria is passed. So we
Okay,
need to move them away.
I guess, fuck it. I'll take charge of this area here. You guys are gonna have to do whatever. If I can't count on somebody to not do what needs to be done here.
Well, look, I can stay here. I can shoot, but I'm not as good as a cop. I mean, that's obvious.
And here, shooting is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about organizing this medical thing. If these fevers and these people start to pass, we need somebody here that's going to take care of that. We cannot have the husks in this room.
I agree.
And
I
this
can do that.
shall be the plague with which the Lord will strike down all
we need
peoples
to-
that wage
we
war
need
against
to
You
keep
need to go
Jerusalem.
shut
them-
her up, because I will shut her up. I will go
Well,
shut her
Their
up.
flesh will rot.
We just need to make
while they are
sure
still standing
that
on
they
their
don't find
feet.
out what we're doing back here.
Their
I
eyes
know.
will rot in their sockets, and their
I'm
tongues
gonna
will
go
rot
out
in their
there and
mouths.
get them to shut up, okay? Because I can't deal with this.
Zechariah 14:12,
I'm
my
gonna
brothers
get
and
out.
sisters.
I'm going towards them, and
There are now easily 120 people paying rapt attention to
Mary,
this woman.
Just let her go.
The
We
dead
need
shall
to
live.
get
all
the
the
people.
turn on us.
Their bodies
that
shall
we can't
rise.
do anything.
You who dwell in the dust, awake and sing for
Ex-
joy, for your dew is
excuse
the dew
me?
of light.
Ma'am,
Completely oblivious to you.
Oh, Rocco.
Who isn't oblivious to your attempt to interrupt her sermon is a very surly looking gentleman with his arms crossed. About 6'2".
Is it obvious that he's a bodyguard? Like, is he facing the crowd, or? is he
I wouldn't
facing
say
her?
bodyguard, but it is pretty clear that were something to break out disagreement wise, that he's picked a side.
Okay.
And in those days, people will seek death and will not find it. They will long to die, but death will flee from them.
Man.
Revelations 9:6, my brothers and sisters.
I'm
God.
going
Big
to
news.
wade
Big
my
news.
way through.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, everyone, you need to find a seat separately. We are taking note of how many people are on board. We're figuring out a way off the ship. But we cannot take inventory of how many people are here if you are not in a separate seat. So please help me and get to a separate seat so we can get off this boat. Thank you very
Disregard
much.
the words of this heathen, brothers and sisters, for the Lord has already smote her, and will smite her again for her lack of faith.
Lack of faith. Okay, lady.
And many
you
of
want
those
to
who
go.
sleep in the dust and the earth shall awake, some to
I need
everlasting
some help
life,
here.
and
I
some
need some
to
fucking help.
shame and everlasting contempt, she says, clearly looking at you as she says Daniel 12:2.
She's a
Mary,
lost
I'm
cause,
telling you
Mary.
right now.
No, I know, but we
She
need to get
is-
the other. Then we need to get them away. Is what I'm saying. She is going to cause our whole group to fuck. So we need. to
And the
get
Lord
them
said,
out.
I will make them eat the
Our
flesh
group
of the
is
sons
going
and
to
daughters.
Make sure
and
that
everyone
we
shall
get
eat
to
the flesh of their
walk the
neighbor.
boat when it's time
In
for
this
them to
siege,
go.
in these times of distress,
They will leave.
in which the enemies
Let
will
them
seek in
talk
their lives
for
to
whatever.
afflict them.
Does not matter.
Jeremiah 19:9.
But we have to get going.
There's
We have to
nothing
get
about
this
the dead
plan.
eating the flesh in the Bible. You realize that, right? Like,
I'm
it's not a part
literally
of the
quoting
Bible.
literal
Yeah,
Bible
it is.
verses about eating flesh right now. I hate to be that guy, but yeah, no, there's lots. There
This
was a
has to
list
be
of
like the King James Bible or
there
something
was a
fucking
list
crazy
of
like that.
64 zombie-related Bible verses that I winnowed down to my favorite 8. So,
Okay.
but moving on.
I'm like, what is this Bible? I've never read phrases like that.
King James.
What brand?
Gotta
What
love
brand?
him.
But
Yeah, King James.
she's clearly winning people over to her. Give me a
All right.
notice roll.
Okay. 'Cause I'm done with this.
Michael 1-1. Shoot her in the face. I would not advise shooting this woman in the face right now.
We have to take her out
I don't
back
have enough
and
bullets.
shoot her in the face.
Right.
Yeah.
So with those notice rolls, my friend, you notice I am afraid too late that Bunny has assisted Mr. Forsyth over to Miss Harton. And he goes, I'm so sorry. Oh, please, God, forgive me. I'm so sorry. They were just gonna sink the ship. None of this was supposed to happen. And she spins on a heel and says, what did you say? And he, quite stupidly, repeats himself. The soldiers were just supposed to sink the ship. Everybody was supposed to get
Do
out
we
of here.
get a Benny for this?
Not for this, but for what's about to happen. Yeah, no. We are, so one of the things about Dead is Better is that there are moments for cinematic elegance, right? That all the party has to go, well, fuck, right? And just accept something that they would normally
Well,
attempt to
fuck.
resist. Everybody's gonna get a Benny at the end of this red light interlude because, but we're going for a red light interlude. She grabs him roughly by the shoulder and hauls him in front of the assembled congregation and says, repeat what you said to me. And again, stupidly, what does Mr. Forsyth do? Anybody? Anybody?
He's a fucking reject and we should have killed him already.
Oh, I'm so...
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
So
This
good.
wasn't supposed to happen. They were just going to sink
So-
the ship. Everybody was going to get off. You all would have gotten refunds.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
just an insurance scam.
I'm moving away from this stupid ass group because I'm like, well, we're fucked.
They deserve each other.
Can we leave yet?
So, yeah, you guys can all be like, okay, like slowly
Yeah, I'm doing
backing for the exit
Peace out.
Yep.
when the red light kicks in. Oh, shit. So, you know what the mob doesn't enjoy? The revelation that, this fellow, well, he tried to fuck him, didn't he? Tried to fuck the whole group. And it immediately erupts into just a group of furious people, right? They are surging forth to grab Mr. Forsyth when Kirkman raises his pistol in the air and fires off a round, right? And this quells them somewhat. And he says, this ain't happening, people. I swear to God, the very first one of you to make a move on this man is going to catch a bullet in the head. I don't like him any more than any of y'all do, but there is a way that we handle justice, and this is not the way. You are not going to lynch this man. We'll get him to shore. We'll get him held for criminal contempt for all these crimes, but you are not going to tear him apart, and you guys are going to give me a notice roll.
Okay.
My best skill.
I get the feeling in every future Savage Worlds game we play together, you're gonna have like a D10 and notice just to negate it. It's
With the
super
weakness.
important. It is very important. But
Yeah, it's perception.
my droogies, Skibba, Mary, Bowser.
Yes.
What Kirkman doesn't realize, right, as he goes, now which one of you am I gonna have to shoot? Miss Harton goes, well, sir, you can't shoot all of us. He says, nah, but which one of you wants it first? You? Guy backs away. How about you? Another random guy puts his hands up, right? Behind him, right? Through the curtain, right? You see somebody move with a heavy piece of metal from like a, you know how they'd rope off an area, right? Those metal pedestals, right? One of those in their hands. And a half second later, they burst out. And, oh boy, they just start walloping the shit out of him, don't they? They take Mr. Forsyth. They manage to leap up behind the wounded Savini and disarm him. And soon, you guys are faced with an angry and armed mob. As Miss Harton goes, they are with them! Seize their weapons! Guess what, guys? No, I am afraid that this is just a frenzy. And in fact, what I need from everybody as the crowd surges over you en masse, a tidal wave of angry people, is a vigor roll to determine whether or not you take a wound in the process of being thoroughly disarmed.
Wait, we don't get to.
No.
Red light zone!
We can't keep A's weapon at all?
You want to open fire on a group of 120 people? Because we could definitely end your session tonight. You want to try and hide the gun?
Yeah.
I keep it under my seat. That's
Yeah,
why.
no, they're going to be real fanatically thorough here.
I'm sitting on it.
I have so many guns on me. Will.
Oh, I know. They're going
I
to,
want-
I mean, all of them, I'm afraid.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck
So,
those.
I just need a vigor roll then from Sean.
They don't get to take my bags, though. I will fight them for that.
No, they're just looking for weapons. So none of you took a wound in that somehow. So congratulations. That is great. But you have all been severely manhandled by a now quite thoroughly upset mob that, are going to probably continue where I imagine to be upset. So, show of hands. Who here gets the feeling that this situation is about to de-escalate itself?
Oh, de-escalate.
An armed mob.
Armed mob
No.
of people being led
No.
by a religious
Fucking
fanatic, you know.
Crazy fucking, yeah.
Fucking heathens. God.
That's exactly, I mean, you guys are of one mind there. She is in agreement that it is a heathen. 100%. 100%.
Can't wait to shoot this lady.
Oh, I know. Everybody can't wait to shoot her, right? So let's get these bennies awarded. Bennies in the evening, bennies in the morning, bennies at supper time. When there's bennies on a table, you all are gonna live forever because some of you have fucking 7. All right.
Yeah.
So
1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
you all are bound on the stage with Savini and Kirkman, and the crowd appears very much so to be
Even
debating.
me?
Down with what?
Like, could I,
What?
like, I haven't.
Could you
tried
have,
to s-
in the red light zone, done some action that affected the overarching
No.
narrative? I can take your Benny back and you can
Like-
try something. What do you want to try?
I was just gonna meld back into the crowd and just
Oh,
kind of
no.
disappear.
No,
No?
I'm afraid you've definitely been. Then you followed them out to the office. I mean, you're a member of the Cool Kids Club now.
Well, it doesn't mean I wouldn't
Membership
come
has
back. I just kind of
privileges.
pretend to be part of. It's too late. I didn't mention it, so.
There is a lady scream that pierces the general chatter. And notice rolls again, because we like to have fun here. Lots of stuff going.
I
Mike,
don't notice shit.
a crow flies in and lands on
crap.
your shoulder and plucks both of your eyes out. Excellent.
Alright, you got something there.
You guys notice the scream, except for Skibba, for some reason, who doesn't even notice that. And, Mary, you can see that a fellow has a ragged piece of mirror in his hand and has slit his own throat, currently gushing blood out of his neck.
What
Apparently,
the fuck is this?
in a moment
Is
of
this like?
despair.
Is this a like full on like Manson fucking death cult here?
Oh,
That's
well,
what I'm
now
feeling.
this guy, I mean, he might have been
James
part of the,
Williams.
religious fervor. He might just be some guy that watched his wife get eaten, I mean, who knows? Who knows why somebody chooses to kill themselves in this situation? But he clearly has. And he did a fine job of it. The initial anime gouts of blood quickly, slow, and then trickle, and he lolls unconscious. This has caused quite a bit of panic in the surrounding area. Lots of blood. Some of these people still haven't even seen one of the husks at this point, and there is a scene. Miss Harton walks over, right, and pushes the corpse over with her foot, and says, "This is the path of the unfaithful. Stick with me and my flock, and you will be delivered unto righteousness." And you know what? 10 more people seem to, fucking desperate times, right? She seems to have the majority of the room. There are a lot of non-participants kind of huddling to one side, but people are looking for leadership, and frankly, she seems to be providing it.
Somebody shoot her.
I offered earlier.
The
We need to get out of here.
Mike,
You
stop
think?
Just
shooting
leave them
everyone.
all.
You think you guys need to get?
Pop all
You
the
guys all
bullets.
start scooting over, just slowly towards the door
Yes.
in your chairs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 100%. So
I want to get out of my bindings as soon as possible.
Yeah, same.
Oh, what are we bound with?
Yeah, that's a good.
zip ties.
On like
I still
metal
have my
fold-out
bags,
chairs.
That's
right?
easy.
Unescapable zip ties on inescapable metal chairs that have been solidly welded by American steel workers. So, if you
But
just
I do
lean
have
back a
my
little, it'll
bag.
snap in half. What?
I have my bag, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, they just zip tied you to
Okay.
your wheelchair. They didn't bother with
those
that.
idiots.
Yeah.
Those fucking. Oh, I love stupidity. Okay.
But the general disposition of the crowd seems to be getting more aggressive. Mr. Forsyth has been separated from you guys, and well, I don't want to be this guy, but it seems like their anger might be directed at him for some reason. Seems to be some discussion as to whether or not an Abrahamic style sacrifice might appease God.
Amen.
Amen. Fuck him. Right, yeah.
I feel like we got all the information we need from him.
He had none.
Yeah, we've got
worthless.
the insurance stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he was guilty of a crime.
One second. I am
Guess
looking
we
for
let me
the
kill him.
section
Do him a
that should
favor.
be here. Scene 1, scene 2. What the
I offered to
shit?
kill him too.
I'm like so done
Can I
with
get
that
Miss
lady.
Hartman? Can I get Miss Hartman's attention?
You can attempt to, yes.
Miss Hartman, just 1 second before you do whatever you're gonna do to that man.
You can address me, child, as Shepherd Harton.
Shepherd.
Yeesh.
Lovely. Shepherd. Just so you know, we have been run into by another boat. We are taking on water in the front.
You mean that booming
That,
sound we heard earlier?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're mistaken, my child. That was the seventh seal being opened.
Awesome. So, what we need to do you have any plans
Awesome.
of
that's
getting us
that's
off
how
this
you
boat?
deal. That's how you deal with the religious crazy people.
So done.
And you definitely did advise us to shoot her, Drew. This is all their fault. No, it's my fault because
So,
I took the reins, but
are we're going to be taking on water? Is there any plans to get us off this boat?
my child, as the Lord Jesus strode upon the waves, he will keep this ship aloft if you merely have the faith.
Okay, he's also the one throwing this giant hurricane at us,
Another
trying to sink
test
the
of
ship.
faith. For the Lord walked for 40 days and 40 nights in the desert without nourishment to
Can
conflict
I
with the
whisper
devil.
while she goes on this
Yeah, oh yeah.
filibuster?
No, this is like a 4-minute long
Yeah, I'm
soliloquy
gonna
is what
say,
she's going to give here.
dude,
Okay,
she
so
doesn't
that's
care
it.
about their lives.
For a
We
score
need
and
to get off of
7
here.
Jesuses ago. Like it's, I mean, she's going off. Yeah.
All right. I
I'm
yell
gonna be
out.
like,
You know
we
what?
need
I'm
to
just
get
gonna
off.
yell out to everybody. Hey, everybody! Just so you know, the boat's sinking. We might want to get to the lifeboats.
Pay no mind to this heathen, my children.
Dude, it's not
Brian,
worth it. Let's just get away.
administer God's wrath. And Brian walks over and lays a backhand with a 9mm into you, Skipper. No wound, but definitely a, blat! Shut up.
We need to get out of here. I'm
Okay,
gonna say after
Brian.
he gets out. I'm gonna be like, Skippa, you know you want to save these people, but they're dead. They're dead on arrival. We need to get out.
All right.
You have a family, right? I have a family too.
Oh, I don't give one shit about these people right now.
Oh, yeah, no, there's
So
no.
we need to get
Yeah.
ourselves out.
Oh, there we go.
They're lost. We
Excellent.
need to figure out our plan. Okay. We can do this.
So,
We all just have to work together.
she returns to the flock, and there is some mumbling between her and Brian and a couple of other people that seem to be in positions of prominency. Not in the slightest, because they're the most armed, right? They have 9mm, a couple of SMGs, right? There's a variety of impromptu melee weapons. They are the armed faction down there gathered around her. And she said, "It is time, my children."
Can we like scoot out of here? Because that's what's my plans.
Yeah.
I'm.
Don't worry,
I
you,
would love
you, you
to.
guys are gonna have a scooting chance and almost complete agency over everything that happens for the rest of the night, except for yet the other red light scene that we might. You know what? Nah, you'll get it. Everything will be fine. But Mr. Forsyth is screaming at the top of his lungs, right? Begging the people that have snatched him up and are carrying him towards the double doors of the auditorium. Please don't throw me to the ghouls. Oh God, please, I don't want to die. Bunny is shrieking, right? Like, oh no, Douglas, oh my God, what are you doing to Douglas? Right, but the crowd's whipped up in too much of a frenzy at this point to really respond. The children that were in the semicircle are all weeping and screaming, and the fellow's trying to calm them down. But I mean, between the guy that bled out, right, these people whipping themselves up into a frenzy, none of these kids understand what's going on. Just that it's horrible, right? They are sobbing inconsolably. Kirkman and Colonel Savini are definitely struggling, and they're like, no, No, what are you doing? Let us go. This is ridiculous. This isn't gonna solve anything.
I'm gonna look over and say, let them go and we can get out of here.
He has
Let them
brought
go.
himself on himself with his own hubris. A hubris, I might add, that you have now displayed on multiple occasions. She yells above the noise. He was willing to sacrifice us all for the evil that is money and greed. You all know that greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. Let his blood be the first spilled to appease the Lord our God and bring about his divine forgiveness.
Except the woman who bought a cruise ticket.
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, she might run a mega church for all we know. I mean, come on, you know. Like, she's in first class all the way.
So far, I'm in agreement with her.
Right, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a dick. Okay, feed him to the zombies, right?
Yep.
But, he's of course sobbing, pleading to be let go. Sorry he is for what he's done. And as he opens the door, they near the doors. 2 guys on either side rip him open, and he is tossed out into the hallway. He lands face first and skids, right? And despite the wound in his leg, manages to quickly leap up and slam himself into the door as it closes. And his pleads and begs and all of that can be, heard through the door for a moment. And then that familiar moaning dirge of the undead. There's pounding and yelling and muffled voices, and then a scream, and then nothing. The
Get out of here right now.
zombie noises build up outside the door. Yeah, it's a little choo-choo. Screw you. It's how it's written, honestly. Literally, in the War of the Dead, the content I'm taking this from, there are moments where it says, tell everybody they're fucked and give them a Benny. That's what we're doing. That's how the module is written. The fucked part is nearly over, but yes, this is very on rails for one of my sessions. Except for the ones where you're literally on a train and then it's, also on rails. But
It's railroad inception.
Hey.
the zombie noises pound outside the door, hearing the noise, frightening people inside, but then they go away. They calm and quiet. And of course, Mrs. Harton goes, see? This is evidence of his divine love. He has been appeased by the sacrifice for now.
It's not even understood.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't matter because she's gotten another 30 or so people that said, well, fuck it, win in Rome. Including the fellow that first walked up to you and spoke to you about her. He's there with his family. Give me a notice roll.
All of us?
Yep.
Okay.
Lots of notice tonight.
Oh, Jesus. Straight roll is natural. I'm just so sick of this religious bullshit that I don't care.
Yeah,
I am
fuck
at
it.
the point of, I have no sympathy for your deaths.
Right.
I was trying to keep y'all alive. Well, fuck you.
No,
Fuck
people
y'all.
in times of
Y'all can
desperation,
go suck a
right?
dick. I don't like you. Go suck it. I fucking hate
there
you.
are a lot of solutions they have not considered, Drew. You are correct. But, moving on. The crowd has taken the undead going away as a sign. Mr. Forsyth is no longer screaming. And she says, we should do our best to rest now, my flock, for the coming days will be arduous. And people,
skedaddle.
They start going down to rest. On the notice roll, Skibba and Bowser, the fellow makes eye contact with you in a very pointed way.
Which fellow?
The convert that warned you about her to begin with.
Polo.
Yeah.
Hello, guy.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So he's on our side. Just nice.
Good.
Wink, wink.
Or
Right,
he's
I'm-
gonna
I raised
check
my
his
I raised my
himself
eyebrows
to him.
like.
Right. Yeah, bro. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for the knowing glance. Super helpful. Yeah. But we have reached a halfway point in our show this evening. Before we go on our 5-minute break, I want to remind all the people watching right now that we are giving away a free subscription to the channel this very evening. You stick
What?
around to the end of the show, you get a month free of ad-free viewing. You get access to our growing emote library. You get a special Discord role, and you get,
One of you gets this.
well, yeah, the winner of the sub. Now, you could
Right.
also just buy a sub. That gets you it too. But, we are giving one away. So please stick with us through the break, and we will be back. And then at the end of the program, be delivering this gift unto ye. I might start doing this more often too, because it's just fun. It's people involved. But we will be right back. Thank you for sticking with us. thank you for sticking with us, our loyal viewers, and soon to be one free subscriber, in addition to the bevy of subscribers that our channel has already attained due to our fantastic camaraderie and roleplay hijinks. Speaking of roleplay hijinks, if this is your first time here tonight, we don't just do zombies. Oh no, zombies is Friday night. We got pirates on Sunday. We do 50 Fathoms Sundays. Fantastic. But just started, only one episode to catch up on there.
Lots of fun.
Yes, it's crazy.
It's super fun. On Tuesdays, we have Deadlands Noir, Tate and Niles, the story of two hard-boiled, PTSD-ridden detectives trying to make their way through 1935's Big Easy in the Deadlands universe, which of course means evil magic, crazy magic patent devices. It's a good time. Wednesday night, we got the flagship, the premiere, the creme de la creme, right? Not to besmirch any of my other shows, but it's the one that they really kick the Savage Worlds off. Deadlands Reloaded, which you see several of the cast members here clearly proud of their accomplishments, and rightly so, because it's a hell of a thing. Oh man, in a carny town right now, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Hit that follow button and watch it your damn self. All of it's on our video demand library at your leisure, But, moving on. This crazy lady just sacrificed the owner of the Pinnacle to the husks, as it were, outside, who seemed to the people inside that have already bought into her particular flavor of batshit crazy, right? That she was right. Yeah, Abrahamic sacrifice. Sure, we just need a little blood. Blow. The nurse comes back from the back of the curtain, right, and looks at you guys for a second, and then walks over to Miss Harton. And he says, ma'am, Shepherd? And she goes, yes, my child. And he goes, I'm afraid about half a dozen people have passed away back there. And I was under instructions from these folks to stab them in the head. And she is
I
taken
gave
aback
no
by
such
that.
order.
It was not me. I believe it was Master Deputy Skibber that had
I've been out here
suggested.
the entire time, ma'am.
So, she says, oh, fear not, my child. The Lord's mercy is spread across this place. These people will not awaken, for this has been a sanctified area. The sacrifices washed away the iniquities and the sins of all assembled here. In fact, she cast a glance over at you and says, God has shown us his mercy. Mercy, but not forgiveness. For forgiveness, the Lord will require a greater sacrifice. More blood for Mr. Forsyth was just a down payment. But, looking over to you guys, I can tell that you folks aren't like these others. She casts a hand at Kirkman and the soldiers. You guys were just wrapped up into this situation, drawn in as unwilling pawns to the vile machinations of Satan. I do not believe that you people are bad at heart. You do not contain the evils of these other men. If you can assure me right now that all of you stand on the side of righteousness, then I will free you from your bondage and allow you to join my congregation.
I'm gonna look at Bowser and Mary and Skip and just kind of, what do they think? Kind of silently. Yeah.
We don't have to lie by telling her that we stand for the side of righteousness. Pretty wide open field.
That's true. It's very vague what you mean.
All right, I have an idea.
And I can tell you from experience, all they really care about is you ask for forgiveness and you're saved, right?
Yeah, I think what she is looking
Yeah, so
from
maybe
you
a
guys is just that
Hail
kind of
Mary or
blind obedience that she's already cultivated. She's not caring that you have thoughts or reservations, or I mean, it's not a nuanced
Um,
situation,
I want to say something. I'm going to say, I
Uh oh,
believe we all stand on the side of righteousness, as you said. Allow us to show our
Mary's body heaves against the
fealty
seat as she's filled with bullets. How are you going to show your fealty?
by sacrificing these soldiers and Kirkman to show God that we mean what we say.
no, but there's
Child,
there's a sh-
you are not anointed with righteousness. Why would the
Wouldn't
Lord
it be the
accept
right?
such a sacrament from one that he has already damned? If anything is going to be done to these soldiers, it'll be through the Lord's word, and the Lord speaks through me. And the crowd, I mean, most of them are, yeah, this lady's going to kill this guy, and we're cool with it. Ain't going to be this lady up here on the stage that's still bound to her wheelchair. It's going to be this lady that's been thumping that Bible.
Shepherd,
Yes, my child.
please, please forgive my trespasses against you.
Oh, you have not trespassed against me, child. I'm but a humble servant. It is the Lord from which you should be asking divine forgiveness.
Dear Lord, I apologize. I'm only trying to do what's right by these people.
Brian walks up and cuts your zip ties. How any of the rest of you, seeing the light and the wisdom of the path of righteousness in these times of great inequity?
It is important to follow your faith in times of crisis.
Amen.
And
Amen,
thank you
brother.
for showing me that.
Oof. I'm almost tempted to make you make a persuasion roll given on how shitty that was. But no, she's going to accept it. And Brian's going to cut you free as well. You are no longer bound.
I'm
And
gonna
now the
gonna
Jezebels of the flock. The Delilahs. Tell me, are you more of a Mary or are you more of a Delilah?
um
I know this one sups
Mary.
with the serpent, she says, pointing at Mary, ironically.
um I'm just gonna nod, kind of. Yeah, I'm a Mary.
Excellent, excellent. And are you willing to seek his divine forgiveness, my child? His divine forgiveness, she says, pointing and staring up in that way that these crazy people do. Look, I can see
Mhm.
him. I've never gotten that. Directly above
Yeah.
us.
um, I know that if I ask Heavenly Father, I would ask him for forgiveness. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, yes, my child, yes. Brian cuts her free. And then last but not least, Mary. And Mary, regardless of what you say at this point, I am going to need a persuasion roll. And there is a negative too, because boy, you have just been sassing this woman. And if there is one thing these kind of people do not tolerate, it's when somebody else starts to question their power and authority in matters divine. So let's hear what you have to say, and let's get the roll first. Let's base.
Okay.
It would suck for you to give an all huge eloquent yes, and then get critical
No,
fail.
sign me out of fantasy grounds.
Man, all right, I'll do it for you.
All right. I have a D8.
Because that always works really well for the players. Why isn't there's the main sheet? All right, persuasion. Hot damn, you rolled a 7.
I
So
seek
she's
God's
technically
forgiveness.
persuaded regardless of how. I
I seek
understand
God-
how truth can taste like venom when the tongue has wagged in the pursuit of the devil for so long, child. I understand that righteousness can burn at the very soul of the unworthy, and why these words are difficult escaping your lips. Do you recognize that the Lord has struck you down and that you need to repent to find his forgiveness?
Yes, I do.
Oof. Oof. Yeah, no, they cut you free. Yeah. Perkman says you really need to handle those bodies, Miss Harton, Shepherd Harton. I'm telling you right now, do whatever you want to me, but you've got to take care of those people in the back there. And she says, they are no longer the devil's children, sir. They're the children of God. And as such, we have nothing to fear from them.
Question.
Miss Hartman,
Boy, guys,
can
do
I
you
go?
know what happens immediately after those words escape her lips?
So
Oh, we hear
nominal.
him screaming from the back.
Oh, God, yeah,
There's
you
a
do.
loud, low moan.
What? Yeah, yeah.
I have a question. After I'm freed and they can't tell, can I start tapping Morse code? I will come back for you. Because I'm sure
To-
Savini knows Morse code.
For Savini?
Yes.
You can attempt, yeah. I'll give him a notice roll for that. Fuck it. Doesn't matter what you attempt. He's been neck shot. He is bound to a chair. He's not having a good night. He does not notice.
Okay.
But yes, just briefly, Mary, demonstrate for us. I will come back for you in Morse code.
Okay. So dot 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 dash dash dot 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 dash dot 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 dash dot dot dash dot dash dot dash 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 dot dash dot 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 dash dash dot dash dot dash dot dash dot dot dash dot dash dash dash
God, this is a shitty way to talk.
dash dot dash dot dash dash dash
Super
dash
compelling
dash
television.
dot dot dash.
Okay, yeah, all right, sufficient. But yeah, so yeah, it seems like God's children were actually the devil's children. Who would have thunk? Mass panic breaks out in the auditorium. You all are unbound, but unarmed. If you are attempting to persuade somebody to give you one of your weapons back, why, it's going to happen in a -2. If you are attempting to intimidate somebody into giving you your weapons back, it'll be a straight opposed roll by a D6 spirit versus your intimidation. You get one attempt each.
I'll do persuasion.
Persuasion, Mary. Persuade somebody to give you your weapons back.
Come on, persuasion. Come on. Big money. That's some big money.
Hot damn. You have managed to persuade Brian, I guess, to give you your 9 back. And you immediately
Okay.
shoot him in the back of the head.
I mean, I want to, but I
Right,
know that's
right.
not smart.
Bowser, you managed to persuade Brian to rearm you.
Nice.
Skibba.
I am
You're,
unarmed.
Brian is ex-con.
Benny. I'm using a Benny.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good. It's the time, man.
Yeah, well, he's only got 7 of them, so. Hey, Skibba, look at that. You got your weapons back. Finally, last but not least, Sean McCrae.
What was the other option you said?
McCrea.
The
Intimidation.
minus-
Yep. Yeah, intimidation is a flat
Mhm.
roll, but it's an imposed
Yeah.
roll by a spirit of D6. The guy's not a wild card, so he doesn't get a wild die.
Yeah. I'm gonna persuade too.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
You guys all managed to persuade. Dude, look at all these people explode now. His faith in Mrs. Harton is shattered immediately by the fact that she was like, they won't come back. And then this person comes out with a big gaping neck wound, followed by a bunch of husks.
Yep.
Do I get both my guns and my knife back?
Yes, everybody has conveniently been returned the same amount of equipment that was on their character sheet so that we don't have to stop and do that. He was like, yes, I took a very careful inventory. You, sir, had 3 magazines. You had 2. Yes, everybody is set and squared. See, was it that bad? We got disarmed and we only got a Benny. And now you're armed again and everybody's having fun and we can make some decisions. So,
That's a very organized crowd to take an itemized list.
Yes.
well, yeah, I mean, you know, you were pummeled. And then Brian went around and was like, yes, they had $13.27, 3 credit cards. They had an Android. Yeah, no, you know. But, so, here's how this plays out.
Okay.
You guys can make a break for the door. It would require a running roll. But then you're just out in a corridor. These things are going to follow you, right? You do know that Kirkman happens to have the, the keys for everything,
Oh,
right?
I was immediately going to be cutting them free.
Same.
Oh, excellent. So I need agility rolls at a -2 from both of you to try and get through in the quick moment that you have to flee.
I guess I would be better doing cover fire than
Oh, that
cutting
is
them
just,
free.
it is
You
not
may want to try
Skibba.
cutting them free.
Has
I'll
failed.
try. I'll try.
Well, and that's
I'm trying Savini. Savini's the one I want to try.
right, of course, because Kirkman disarmed you that one time when you tried to murder
Yes,
somebody
that's
for no
pretty
reason.
fair.
Are you sure you shouldn't have the vengeful hindrance?
At the end of this, probably. Why is it showing a -2 to my fighting? Oh, Jesus.
I actually do
Hold
have
on.
a vengeful hindrance.
Agility. Oh wait, -2. Sorry. Here we go.
I know. It was a waste of a
Hey,
campfire
what's
joke.
up?
Nice.
Fuck that guy.
Excellent, but I am afraid that it is not a raise, so you have only cut Savini free. Kirkman is still tied to the
That's
chair.
fine. That's who I care
Anybody
about.
else going to try and get Kirkman up?
Sure.
Savini has a boat. I need a boat.
It's agility -2.
Yep.
Come on.
Nope.
Oh shit.
Sean,
Sean.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You are Kirkman's only hope.
Yeah, really.
Oh fuck.
nobody is
Benny?
going to spend a penny
You know what?
to try and
Benny?
save George
I've only got
Kirkman.
7 of them.
You've only got 7, yeah.
Skibba, spending a penny like a hero, he manages to get him free. They are all
That's
free.
my
Now
boy.
I need a running roll from everybody. You are looking for a value of 7. Oh, look at that. Boom. Out the door. Just short the door. Out the door. Out the door. Does anybody want to assist Mary? Would that be something that had happened there?
It would be appreciated. Maybe Savini, since I cut his tongue.
Yeah, fuck it. Savini assists you, gives you a +2 pushing you.
What
Okay.
about Savini's 2 men?
They are out
guess
as
they-
well. He cut them free in the moment, spun his knife in the
Good
air, and before he sheathed it again, they were both cut free. Just, magic knife. Because
Before
again,
we-
don't get in a
I-
fist fight with Savini. My God. But
I hand Savini one of my guns.
oh, well, he is thankful. He, checks the mag, reacts it, good to go. All right. Everybody has escaped, and Kirkman is fumbling to get the door closed. People now have noticed that all of you have escaped, that there are undead eating people, and that you guys are in the process of closing the door, which is super cool. A man runs sprinting up and he goes, no, 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 wait, as the door slams in his face. And you guys are in the corridor outside. It is clear as you stand there for a moment and kind of gather yourselves what exactly is transpiring in there. The children were in there, the newborn was in there, everybody was in there, and Kirkman turns around, his hand just shaking, white as a sheet, and he says, oh my God, what have I done?
Can't look back now. We just need to go.
What have I done?
Kirkman, get your shit together. We need to go.
Persuasion roll, -2.
Can I assist with that
You
command?
can, yes you can.
Cartman, I understand.
Persuasion
more
roll
than
from you as well,
anybody.
sir. You're offering the assist, just don't critically fail. Oh, look at that. The +2 from Skibba's success has managed to elevate Mary's attempt to a success. He snaps to and says, I don't know what to... We gotta go back to the bridge. Maybe we can rig up something with the comms. We can flag somebody down. I don't know what else to do. All these people are dead. They're all... Oh God, do you hear that?
We need to get supplies for ourselves. We need to get off this boat.
We need to get on Savini's boat. Do you know where it is?
Savini says, I agree with him. We should get to the bridge. We can try and establish some kind of comms, maybe scrap together something.
I can help.
And besides, we got clear sight lines now. The windows and roof was nearly blown off. It's an elevated position on the upper deck. They have to make their way up a lot of stairs to get there. Elevators are down now, so I suppose you'll be a problem though, ma'am.
I'll manage.
You guys taking the advice? Traveling to El Bridgeo.
Yeah.
It is relatively uneventful. The only shots being fired along the way by Savini and his men, just one or two quick little bursts here to take out somebody coming towards them. There's an old lady with a walker holding back a couple of them. You don't manage to get her in time. It's a, oh, that's funny. Fucking Six-Gun Mary, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, it's just,
Oh,
it's
how
just
old was
visual
she?
of, like,
How old was she?
old-timey, like, I'm going to take.
Were her vocal
Like, yeah,
cords...
I'm sorry, I just.
Were these vocal cords really strained when she screamed for her life? Oh no, dearies,
No, it's
please
just
don't
that
devour me.
It's just the idea of an old lady with a walker holding
One of them
on
was
zombies
gnawing
that
on
just
one of the
kills
tennis
me.
balls. Yeah, no, it's... No, I get it, yeah.
I have really dark humor, I'm sorry.
Apparently, Six-Gun Mary. Apparently.
Hashtag Six-Gun Mary.
You guys make it to the bridge. Anybody have any repair engineering?
Yep.
Let's see it.
Oh.
You want repair or electronic?
Either or. Electronics, then repair. It looks like you might be able to salvage something. Oh wow, that storm's kicking up, y'all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not happening. If it's the rainwater that's gotten in, if it was the detonation on the bridge from the grenade, that's dead in the water. There's nothing to salvage here. Give me notice rolls.
Okay. I mean, would it be worth the... Okay.
Thunder drowns it out for Sean. And everybody else, I imagine. It's loud! But, Savini. Roger, we'll be down in 10. And immediately, in unison, guns up.
Like at us?
Oh yeah.
But
There's
And
only
let
3
me
of them,
go.
right?
There are only 3 of them, yep. Seems fair on 3 trained soldiers.
You know we
Dude,
can help.
you can have more help from us than you think.
Don't forget how this ended last time, Steven.
Well, everybody, it's been fun. But I'm really not looking forward to doing this again anytime soon. And our ride's here.
Let us come with you. We can help.
I mean,
We got you out of there. You would have been sitting ducks for the husks to come and get you.
and
if it
we
wasn't for
got
me.
you out of there as well. Now listen, this can shake out a couple of ways, right? We can fill you guys with bullets right here and now and leave. Or we can just leave and you guys can have a shot at getting on one of these boats and getting out of here. Now, this has been all great, right? We got you here. I don't see any of these fucking dead people. Best of luck. Or, again, right, in cinematic taking off of safeties and all of that would have long since been accomplished, you know? They all rack the guns even though, you know, I mean, it's... You know that thing
So
they do in
a bullet
movies where they're
flies
like,
out.
now it's really ready to fire. You know, they eject the one that was already in the chamber, you know? You don't really think we were gonna sink this can and then be on board when it happened, did you? I mean,
no,
really?
but we could help. We
Let me
helped you get
see.
out of here.
I look at Mike and I look at Kirkman.
Kirkman says, so you're just gonna kill all these people along with these ghouls? And he says, those people are already dead, Kirkman. You chose that your damn self. All we're doing is leaving. I didn't lock that fucking door. My men didn't sign
killing
up for
us.
this. I ain't killing shit,
didn't
lady,
sign
unless
up-
you ask for it. I am
I'm
allowing you
saying-
guys to leave of your own
Why would-
volition right now. Right now, no harm, no foul. Or we can get
can
into an
work
old-fashioned gun.
together.
I don't, lady, no offense, but I don't think there's a lot I can gain from a cripple.
You have a medical professional.
Yeah, we're medical. We got a combat medic. Well, shit, do we? Where's Johnson?
Exactly. I know. I delivered a baby tonight. Imagine what else I can do.
Well, ma'am, with all due respect, none of us are fucking pregnant.
I know first aid. I'm training. I can help. They can help. You've got a cop who can do.
Kirkman says,
Wouldn't it be better to have numbers?
seriously, you're just gonna kill all these people? Don't get righteous with me, George.
You saw how your guys just got murdered. How do you think so? Only 3 guns? What if there's 15?
That was everybody on that boat.
Give me a notice roll, everybody, as that lightning flash happens.
Okay.
Shit.
Mike Bowser, both of your eyes are plugged out. I have to come up with something for these critical failures on these. Something bad is supposed to happen, not just like, oh, same as trait roll natural 1, but you've only got 2 fucking eyes, which I think would last us about half an episode. So, I literally...
Critical fail on a notice, I think, is just probably like a negative on the rest of my notes.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, your glasses broke. Oh, shit. You know, something. But, so let's see here. We got a Mary. Ooh, with a raise. We got a Skiba and a Sean. Skiba and Sean in the light, standing directly behind Savini, right? Flashes for a second, grinning figure. Mary. Oh boy, it's one of the smart ones. Kirkman says, if I were you, I'd look behind you. And Savini's, are you fucking kidding me right now? As the thing reaches through the window and grabs the soldier next to him, ripping him out onto the deck with a scream and a burst of gunfire into the remnants of the ceiling. Kirkman and Savini draw on each other and each let loose. Kirkman is hit 6 times. Savini caught twice, center mass. They both fall over, and there is one soldier, gun trained on you still. Who's gonna take the shot?
I shoot. I'm shooting.
Skiba.
I think we're all gonna try.
Let's get.
No.
Just turn this boy into Swiss cheese. Yeah. Oh yeah, Skiba. Yep, you plug him just above the chin strap. Head inverts, kicks forward. He falls forward to the deck. No sign of the guy that was pulled out or the intelligent one.
I want
Kirkman.
to shoot Savini in the head.
Savini, gagging, spitting up blood, goes, wait, I can help you. Do you still shoot him in the head?
Absolutely.
Yeah, boom, Savini's gone.
I want to loot people.
Yeah, oh yeah. So,
his microphone.
There are 2
His
of
radio.
those 9mm Heckler and Koch MP5s. Right? There is a Desert Eagle 50 caliber compensator.
Is
I
it
just
any
take my
nice?
gun back that I gave him.
Yep, 9mm.
How about grenades?
Oh man,
Well,
grenade guy
that's
got
it all.
sucked out the window. Fuck, isn't that just the worst?
Any armor?
Or knives.
Yeah, but it's pretty.
We looted
so,
Savini before.
yeah,
I
so
mean-
Savini's down. I suppose the other guy
More of the
probably
other
has a
soldier.
vest, but has also had arterial spray. Just, you know, it's gonna be sticky if you're gonna wear it. That's all I'm saying.
I just went like
Grab it.
elbow deep.
That's true.
I'm
That's
not
true.
that worried about it.
Just, bam! Just, yeah. Only if you think that's the last time that's gonna happen on this show, you clearly don't understand melee combat against zombies. But, so yeah, you shot Savini, who was going to offer to tell you the location of his ship in exchange for you dragging him to it, but, yeah. That's
He lost
cool.
our trust.
What? On the 3rd or 8th betrayal? Man.
He showed himself to be untrustworthy.
Well, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He made a stupid move, too, frankly. But he was never planning on
Yeah.
taking anybody with. I mean, come on. Seriously?
Does he have his comm on him?
I mean, he's got the little earpiece for sure.
Alright, because I know there's usually a way that you can, like, turn on the microphone. I wanna, like,
Describe to
do a
me
couple...
the way you normally turn on the microphone.
Well, usually if it's like a connected thing, there's a button, and you can usually push the button and allow that to...
Bowser, No hints. What are you doing? We're using
Okay.
her knowledge base. There is no
And I
button
have
on the
text.
neck.
The earpiece goes around your ear down.
And it goes down, so you
Into
click
your
the
sleeve.
earpiece. And then you can do this.
Oh, well, that is like the exact... She tries speaking into his wrist and nothing happens.
There's a button inside his sleeve.
There's a-
Ah!
You hit that.
I'll look for
The
that.
only time they do this is so that they can hear better.
Yeah.
My action movie knowledge has failed me.
Yeah, oh yeah. It fails most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I met the real life guys. That's how I know about it.
So, yeah, eventually you find the thing. Earpiece,
Yeah.
pretty gooey, given the headshot, but, still functional. If you would like to insert it into your ear.
Clean it off.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll wipe it off.
no,
you know,
that's how you
don't want any
disinfect
blood.
brains. 100%. 100%. So yeah, just stick it in your ear. Yeah.
It's not the weirdest thing I've done today. I mean, and I'm going to click the microphone, and I'm gonna do a shot, like a couple shots.
You're gonna, alright, spend 2 bullets.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Give me a
microphone.
notice roll, everybody else, as she fires off these 2 shots.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Seems to a couple of you like there is a low moaning starting to gather under the wind.
Oh, shit. What about a knife on? Can I get the knife that Skilla gave?
No, I kept the
You
knife.
kept the knife,
Oh,
yeah.
you did? You got it back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does the other body have a knife?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm gonna grab. Is it like a hunting knife or
Survival knife.
survival? Okay.
So, I hate to interrupt, but we should probably just find a lifeboat and get the hell out of here. Take our chances with the storm.
Can I try the? I have the microphone on as I do the shots, and then I'm gonna hold it kind of away from me, like further out.
Kirkman dead too.
Kirkman is very dead and starting to move.
Yeah, shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm gonna yell, Savini's been shot!
Now, so let's just we're gonna turn this storm down a little so we can honestly have an earnest discussion about
Okay.
how a special operative member, right, would respond to somebody
Okay.
opening up a channel, not using any code word identifiers, not establishing any kind of communication, just saying in a very clear woman's voice, blam blam, Savini's been shot.
I'm just
Now,
trying something, man.
What is your hope here?
My hope is that my goal would be like
hey, you can just leave,
for-
everybody's dead. I mean, is what you just told the guy.
No, but I mean, but like Savini's been shot and he's still alive. We're trying to get him off the boat. He's their commander, so they
I
wouldn't want him
am
to
not
die.
sure that if Savini were in any condition to, be rescued, that you, without knowing any of the, any of it, any of the code words, chat, or none of it, would be the force that convinced this fellow to, oh yeah, we're
I'm just
10 degrees
trying
off the stern.
I'm just trying something, man.
Yeah,
I'm
there
just-
is no
in that
response.
moment, I know I would try something.
Now, it clicks over, there's static, right? You hear all that, but no, nothing comes back. It's clearly functional, at least as far as you can tell.
Okay. We gotta find a way on that boat. I can't. My wheelchair's destroyed if we go on a lifeboat. I'm screwed.
Hey guys.
All right.
What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that?
What is that?
Oh man, that sounds like a series of explosions, doesn't it?
It's the ship's
Ah,
final,
detonators.
yeah,
All
Yeah.
right.
lifeboat.
Lifeboat, or can we see the cutter still?
The cutter is
bridge?
about half sunk at this point. The entire front end was torn open. It's just taken on too much water. But
Right. I'm
you
thinking,
also
I'm thinking
notice
about
that the ship has suddenly taken on like a 5 to 10 degree list.
All right, let's go.
to the lifeboats.
To the
Yeah.
lifeboat.
All right, going to attempt to disconnect a lifeboat manually without any power or system. All right, who here has disconnected a lifeboat from a cruise ship?
Never
There are
really said so.
instructions.
Oh yeah, they're printed everywhere for sure for how to operate it when the you hit this
Actually,
button, the winch
I'd
goes out.
guarantee it. They are. I would guarantee it. The instructions are there.
Oh, I 1000% concur with you that the instructions for how to operate the machinery, right, that lifts the boat up, travels it out, lowers it all, right? Yeah, we're not quite 20 degrees yet, but yeah. For when the power's on, right, and you can use all the stuff, I'm sure the instructions are accurate. Yes, 100%. They'd be printed on everyone, probably by law, I would imagine. Everybody, as you head to the lifeboats, give me a notice roll at a -4.
Before I lift the bridge, I wanted to grab Kirkman's wallet.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Fair.
What kind of roll?
A notice roll at a -4.
I'm gonna spend a penny.
Yeah, well,
Boom!
Bowser,
Finally.
the ship lifts to the side and rocks, and you kind of get knocked into the railing, right? And you just happen to glance down, and there
Damn
is
it.
a black crash boat chilling at the waterline there, connected to the side of the boat with a couple of cables and what looks like magnets.
Is it the
there
right
anyone in
one?
it?
No, it's probably another black crash boat that is attached to the hull of the ship.
But is it it's the right one? I mean, that's what we would think.
I don't. All right, so
I don't
now,
know what a crash boat
all right,
is. I'm sorry.
let's stop right here. What other boat would it
I
be?
don't know what a crash boat. I literally have no knowledge.
Well,
of
this
that
is
kind
a
of
this is
stuff.
a World War II model that's been retrofitted, painted black, right? It's got an engine, right? It's got storage for weapons. It's got a food supply on it. It's clearly not meant for long-term supply, but meant to shuttle people from one boat to another. A couple
Okay.
of problems. Firstly, the ship is listing away from it, right? So you're at the highest point of the railing. This boat's down here, being partially pulled on its side out of the water by the fact that it is clamped to the boat. The second problem we have is that it is a 40-foot drop. And it should be mentioned that you're in the middle of the hurricane. Swells are kicking up about 20 feet, which means if you time the jump correctly, right, it's a 20-foot drop. But also, well, boy, there's a lot of shit that goes wrong in a 20-foot drop into water in the best of circumstances. These circumstances are not the best of circumstances. So if you guys are going to attempt to leap from the deck of this cruise ship into the water, right? Well, first of all, we're going to get vigor rolls to see if you get wounded, right? And then secondly, we're going to take some serious penalties on some swimming rolls, because it is my understanding that you are going to try and aim for next to the boat and not 40-foot drop onto the boat. And then thirdly, and perhaps most complicated of all, is the fact that wheelchairs don't make for excellent swimming, leaping, or performance after submerged in salt water.
We'd have to have a rope to like lower it. basically.
Is
Yeah.
there not a
Only
rope
thing I know.
already in place where the people that came off the boat climbed up?
There does
Yeah.
not appear to be, strangely.
And the
Of course
dickheads
not.
upstairs didn't have rope on them?
Well, I mean, that would require going back and asking specifically about rope, wouldn't it? People asked about weapons. They asked about body armor. Nobody was like, hey, does any of these guys have rope?
We
Can
would
I
see the
spend a
rope.
penny
Didn't come up. Huh? Can you spend a penny
Can't-
to what?
to have us
To have
gotten
rope appear? No. I can't
No,
set
I
that
mean-
precedent.
We
Now,
would've
you guys-
seen rope if he had
you
it.
can find
You
rope.
guys can
Like, you can have an
investigate
item.
for some rope, or now we can use our noggins a little here, right? So these guys had to clearly scale the side of this boat using something, right, that wasn't immediately apparent on their persons, right? So if I was the person in your shoes, in your scenario, right, that would indicate to me that perhaps somebody is on the boat waiting to deploy the system again upon their return, upon getting the appropriate signal, upon any number of factors that are unbeknownst to us. It would make sense to leave a getaway driver too, though, so.
Yeah.
Who's got the flare gun?
Dude.
Shoot it out off the bow of the boat. Shoot it down.
Shoot it down to him.
So
Don't
he
shoot
knows
the
we're
flare
up
at the
here.
boat. Just
Yeah,
off the
not at the boat. In front of the
I
boat.
was like, you want me to shoot it at him? Okay.
Nope.
Right.
It catches
I'll
the
go ahead
boat on
grab
fire
the-
and it immediately sinks below the waves, leaving you out of... No, it's
Well,
not quite that bad.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the flare. Shoot one of that, because I have two, don't I?
Yep. Yeah, flare
Yeah,
goes up
and
in
then-
the air, illuminates, starts the slow descent. Now everybody can clearly see the boat.
Can we see movement on the boat?
No, it's an enclosed
No.
space, right? There it's
Sure.
covered so that you don't get rained on, right? And then there's a little
Mhm.
hatch access in the back, it looks like.
Perfect.
Boat starts to list another, I don't know, we're probably getting on another 5 degrees now.
Is there a lifeboat near the railing where we're at?
Oh yeah, I mean you're within a couple hundred yards of one for sure, a couple hundred feet of one rather.
I want to look in one to find life vests.
Yeah! Wow! Now we're thinking with portals. Yeah, there are definitely 4 life vests in there.
I'm gonna take the ear.
I collect the
Mary.
life vests and hand them out.
Yep.
What
Wanna take
other
that
emergency
earpiece?
supplies or
In the lifeboat, you have another flare.
Yeah.
You have one of those emergency transponders that you turn on that gives the location.
mm-hmm.
Some water, some food. Real hard to get those things, over the side. Just about as difficult as it is your person. But the emergency transponder wouldn't be unreasonable. Life jackets wouldn't be unreasonable. Some fresh water wouldn't be unreasonable.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
just
imagine
kinda
they would probably,
throw
I mean, they would
everything in my
have
bag.
to have some kind of desalination device on them. Honestly.
Hey, Mike, if you want to try to just, you're the engineer here. You want to try to figure out a way to get this boat over here?
Get the
I'd say let's get this one down because this guy down there ain't.
lifeboat down.
Yep. Because nobody's responding from them down.
I
At
have a
this point,
question.
it should be noted,
TM.
yes, that the cruise ship is like this, right? You guys are on the high side of it above the waterline. The low side is now probably, I don't know, 10 feet or so above the waterline. Some of the waves are starting to lap over the thing. And the boats on your side are resting against the hull of the ship now instead of freestanding.
So it's almost like we're going to be sliding down the ship into the water.
Yeah.
So the impact won't be that bad.
Yes.
So one of the things we is that we can spend a penny to influence the story.
Yeah, not on Friday nights. We don't do adventure cards either.
Well, no, but I mean that. Okay. Never mind.
I think we're gonna be collecting some water in our bag or in our pockets. And
Well, yeah, I know. I'm permanently screwed if my wheelchair hits the water. Like, I am null and void. I am done.
How far is the fall for one of these
And I'm
lifeboats now?
Yeah, exactly. That's the other point. Is that
Well,
I'm
now,
screwed.
so that's interesting because as this side comes out of the water, right, it becomes further and further, doesn't it? Right. It would probably be a 50-foot slide. The boat would slide down the hole into the water. It's not quite to the point, right, where like the keel is exposed, but the upper side of the hole is starting to get that curvature. You know what I'm saying?
How many lifeboats are there?
Oh, dozens.
That
I
we...
mean, dozens.
All right, I am going to shimmy my way across with one arm wrapped in the railing so that I do not
Yeah.
slide down, and I'm going to shoot the cables or ropes or whatever
So,
until they break loose and send a boat into the water.
you are going to shoot the woven steel cables holding this
Yep.
over a ton vessel aloft. With, what? The 50?
Yeah, let's use that.
So we are in a hurricane on a heaving ship deck, bracing ourselves, one-armed, wrapped around the railing on unstable footing.
Well, the good news is
And you
I
want
can
to
put the gun,
shoot the cables.
put the gun against the cable.
Now, Mike.
On the side where the cable will fly up out of the pulley.
Now,
away
Mike,
from me.
I know that you know enough about firearms, right? That come on, Mike.
It's gonna take a few. I'll give you that.
It's gonna.
But the boat weighs enough to snap that cable when it's.
It's gonna take a few. Would anybody like to search the deck for like a life preserver or something?
maybe an axe.
I want to look for
Oh, an
a
axe would be
rope.
way. I mean, we're talking. These are steel
This is
cables.
a steel cable.
Like,
yeah.
I want to
Unless
find
there's a
rope
release.
so I
Is
can.
there a manual release?
not in this. It was all modern and sexy, right? So of course everything was electronic.
Mm.
Yeah, give me a investigation roll, Mary, and give it to me at a -2 because you be
I don't
wheeling.
have investigation.
I mean, you're searching.
You just
Skibba.
gave me investigation.
You find a life preserver, and as all life preservers are wont to do, it is in fact coiled to about 150 feet of rope.
All right, so we've got rope. We can tie this to the chair, so we don't lose it.
So that there is a chance you will not lose it, certainly. I don't think tying rope to things on a heaving ship with the storm kicking out. I mean, there are no guarantees here. This might actually be the single most difficult challenge yet posed to you on this show. Because it's fucked up, and there are a lot of conditionals here, aren't they?
And there's 150 foot of rope.
Yep.
How tall is the
Alright.
boat? Or like the
You're about,
height of it?
this side's about 50 feet out the water now. The deck on the other side is starting to take in water, and it is rapidly starting to list now.
Go.
Some other
So
things. Give me a
Yeah.
common knowledge roll.
Common knowledge.
Yep. Sean, this is especially relevant for you since you've been boating. You know that when a large vessel, right, sinks and takes on water, that all the oxygen that's trapped within it is released, along with the mass of it creating a current, right? It calls something called cavitation, right? Which means that things that normally maintain buoyancy on the surface of the water, right, lose it because there's simply too much air and turbulence mixed into the water for it to support mass. If this ship is currently in the act of going beneath the water when you are within 100 yards of it, right, there is zero fucking chance that the life raft or this boat, or hell, even that Coast Guard cutter that rammed into the side of it would stay above the surface. So time is of the essence, and not just in that way, because you have 12 minutes to come up with a solution.
All right, we need to tie the rope, one end of this rope to the railing, the other end to Mary's chair. I don't know if we want to try to lower her down or just let her slide separately from the chair. That's going to be up
Well,
to
and
you
then
guys.
there's the issue of once she's in the water, and everybody's in the water, frankly. I mean, it's a bad scene, you know? For all the
Well,
reasons mentioned and many more.
we got to swing to the
Fortunately,
back of the boat.
the side of this ship is, it's its maiden voyage, so it's brand new, so you're not going to get torn to fuck if you do happen to slide down it and then plunge into the salt water. But the wounds penalty for the drop still applies as it is written into the manual, unless it is circumvented entirely by some very rapid genius thinking. It'll be but a couple of moments before no boat will function.
Okay, what if we make a sling type thing? Like, we can get, I can rip up my backpack partially and we could get like a swing seat. If you guys could lower me, that would be faster. And then if we have the rope going, the only thing I don't know about is the boat. Where is the cutter? I guess I'm trying to understand. I'm really
The
confused.
cutter's probably on the other end of the boat.
Yeah, the cutter's on the bow. You guys are towards the stern.
So what are we trying to do? Just
We're trying to get in the water and get into this other boat.
Okay.
Our goal is to get down there as safely as possible. And right now we have 150 foot worth of rope where we can hold on to and go down. Just got to be careful of rope burn.
Of course, they would have to be launched powerless, Drew. Come on, don't steal my thunder. It's supposed to
So
be
if we have
incredible
150
odds.
foot of 150 foot of rope, and you're saying it's only a 20-foot drop to the water?
50 foot on this side, 20 foot on the other, 10 foot now. Shit, you guys could just splash over the far side. Unfortunately, there is no boat.
Why don't we just wrap the rope through Mary's wheelchair around her lap and lower her down? We have more than double the amount of rope that we need.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You are going to lower Mary and her chair simultaneously to be the first on the crash boat. That's my understanding.
Mary, you up for it? It's probably going to take all three of us to get you down.
I mean, I'm either dying tonight or not, so I've got nothing. So
all right,
I can rappel down the side if you want and shoot anyone on the boat before you guys lower her down, but you probably want me up there to help.
You're gonna need strength for that.
So what we are going to do is we are going to do a cumulative successes and failures on a strength roll. I need a strength roll from the three of you. 2 successes means it succeeds.
Can I spin a Benny?
You can.
But we got our 2 successes.
That's true.
Wait, what?
Hey,
2 successes?
Don't steal my thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you only need a 2 out of 3.
Okay.
You successfully lower her about halfway down when the ship starts to lilt. Mary, give me an agility roll. Oof. So,
I'm gonna use a Benny.
Yep, There we go. The chair skitters to behind the boat, and then skitters to in front of the boat. And just as it's about to touch the water line, the wave comes up, the deck meets the bottom of your chair, and you are on board.
Okay.
Climbing rolls from everybody else.
I'm aiming and ready to fire.
Yep.
Should things happen.
There is no climbing skill.
Was it athletics or agility?
Or agility.
Is there no climbing? Are we sure?
Climbing does 50 fathoms.
It's
Yeah.
with athletics. It's climbing.
I'll look here because there should be climbing.
Yeah, it's under athletics. If you
Yeah.
read athletics,
There's definitely.
climbing, jumping, balancing.
Oh, suede. That's right. All right. Athletics.
Benny.
Benny, yeah.
Benny, Benny, Benny.
One more Benny.
It's worth the spend now.
Oh, I'm just not gonna make
There
it.
you go.
Bowser, you barely make it onto the deck. Sean, you do handily. Skibba, you lose your grip and you plunge into the water. It is pitch black
Here we go,
and
people.
turbulent. There are bubbles everywhere. You give me a notice roll first off because you need to tell which way is up. Although I guess the vest helps with that. Damn you and your quick thinking. Yeah, alright, so you surface and you are already 100 feet away from the crash boat when you do so, and I am going to need a swimming roll at just a -2 because you're wearing the vest. I guess that's probably
Is there
also
like
athletics.
Is there the life rings?
You have that tied to the railing above you so that you could climb down the side. There does not appear to be immediately one on the
none
deck.
on the ship.
Not
There's
up
no
here.
swimming roll.
I know, it's athletics.
Holy shit, I did it!
Fortunately, and with your very last ounce of strength, you make it to the side of the crash boat. Does somebody want to help pull him over?
Yeah.
I shoot
Please.
him.
Yeah.
You shoot him?
Roll.
I'll get you up. Blam, blam!
Sorry, Mike. I tried.
Bowser, you're really lucky that wasn't a critical failure. You can't get him out of the water. Sean,
Fuck.
you lose your footing and plunge into the water.
I'm gonna help if I can.
Help what?
Because my strength is pretty good.
You're gonna help
Still
Mike up.
scrabbling to get up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in the water and save Sean.
I'm gonna help Mike get up.
Alright, give strength roll for Mike.
I just rolled it.
Alright, no, for helping Mike. Still in the water. We currently have Bowser, Sean, and Skibba all in the water.
I'm gonna do some quick thinking, look at what I have available near me on the ship.
That's
Mike.
to help Sean up.
You're still in the water,
You
buddy.
s- Is,
Yeah,
is
helping her
the,
up.
Oh, you're
the
gonna
rope on the wheelchair?
like push up from under her and then like try and get her up there. All right. Well, that'll be a +2. Let's get another strength roll, Sean.
I mean, as the marine of the group, water's kind of my deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Emperor 5. Jesus Christ, Sean. Sean,
It's
a sudden
Are you
wave.
gonna die? Oh God, no!
A sudden wave rips the boat
Sean!
away from you, and you find yourself suddenly 100 feet away. I am going to need a swimming roll at a -2. Bowser, strength roll to pull yourself up.
I'm gonna help Mike up.
I'm gonna try to get myself up too.
Fuck.
So that's to help Mike up.
Oh damn.
Sean,
Mike's up.
are you going to spend another Benny?
Yeah, I'm gonna spin a Benny.
Should.
Yeah, you don't want to be another 50
Is it
feet
still
away.
at a -2?
Yeah.
Oh
Ooh.
my
Going
God.
out the gym again.
Bowser, you find yourself 75 feet away, about 150 feet away from Sean.
I untie the rope from the wheelchair.
Alright, it's still
Yeah, I
connected
want to help with
to
this.
the
really
railing on the
bad.
top of the ship where you tied it off, though.
But it's 150 foot of rope,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do have some coil down here. That's a good point, yeah.
So just cut it. Mike.
So I throw it out
Yeah.
to both of them.
That's an athletics
far.
roll.
Oh.
I want to help with whatever I can. I don't know what you want me to do.
They are getting
Spend a
further
penny
and
if you
further away. I am going to need notice rolls and
Yeah.
a -4 to see if you can even spot where they are now. Heads bobbing in the stormy sea at night. To even
Hey, that
toss
new
a
one
rope.
is
Yeah, I
new
saw
one's
it.
a 6.
Yep.
Can I
Bowser
see 'em?
closes the
Can I
distance
spend?
back to the ship as long as you don't critically fail. Yeah. Give me all these bennies before we start getting into real gunfights next week, please. Please, yes.
I've only got left.
Come on.
You guys are shouting, Sean, Sean.
All right. So this boat has a cabin, right?
Yep.
Did I spot them?
You spotted Sean. Yep. And then she dips below the waves, comes back up further away, well off in the distance
Mary, you keep throwing. Keep throwing that rope.
now. Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
come
I'm
on.
just gonna keep going.
So you have
I'm
a
pulling,
rope,
I'm pulling.
right? She is like 150 feet away in high seas. I mean,
Right.
it goes like 10 feet splash. I mean, you
I'm
know.
pulling my gun out
Yep.
and going towards the cabin door, trying to peek in.
You're gonna
Am
kick
I
in the
back at
cabin
boat
door?
yet?
Well, peek.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like,
you can give me another strength roll to try and pull yourself up, Bowser.
I want to help him as much as I can.
Sean
Thank you.
McCree using another Benny. Gonna need a raise to get you back to the ship at this point in one swim.
Yeah.
Even further away.
Sean.
At least
How do we
300
release
feet
this
out
boat?
now. Huh?
No.
How do we release this boat?
Yeah.
So, Skibba, you open the cabin door, right? And you immediately tell, you can smell fuel, right? And cordite and blood.
Okay, I don't know what cordite is.
Gunpowder.
Okay. With that notice roll that I did, do I see any bodies or anything like that?
Narrow corridor access seems to open up to the right hand side.
All right. I will try to stealth.
You
my
work
way
your
in.
way down the corridor.
Yep.
Peek the corner.
I want to check the doors, every door.
There is a long smear.
Looking for blood trail.
Oh yeah, long smear of blood along the well that ends in a handprint, and below it there, kind of just in a feeble hand, is written to be continued next week.
Are you fucking? Oh my gosh! I have to wait till I die for next week.
You're gonna have to tread water for a while, Sean.
Yeah, don't worry. You're just treading water for a solid week.
You still got that flare gun?
I got 2 flare guns now.
So, wow, guys. Wow, Sean is 300 feet out in the ocean. You all have made it onto a vote that is clearly
I'm
had
still
something
alive
awry.
somehow. I don't know how that fucking happened. Like,
Don't worry, it won't be long.
I can't believe I made it back to the boat.
I can't believe you did either. But that is our show this evening. But before we go, I believe there was some mention of a person being rewarded a subscription. So let's do that right now. We're going to go here. We're going to give gift subscription. Gifting 1 sub. Completing purchase via PayPal.
Is that a drum roll?
Just trying to, yeah.
And the sub was awarded to Mikeyus Gaming, who should have been subbed anyway, you son of a bitch. But at any rate, he has now a month of viewing the channel ad-free that he participates in for half the time anyway. So, yeah, that's fun. We'll have another drawing here. We might do this weekly. I enjoy the concept very much. But with that, that was the show this evening. Boy, This might be the worst cliffhanger we have ever had. I mean,
It is.
she
Well,
is
Tune in next
100%.
week to see if I die.
she is out just in the middle of the
Skibblish.
ocean. When I was picturing the people that weren't going to make it off the boat, honestly, Sean was not on the top of my list. So we will see. But you guys get this boat detached, right? I'm sure it has a spotlight on it. I'm sure she could fire a flare. We could come up with something, frankly, to save her life if we like her. And that's neither here nor there. I mean, I'm not
That's
trying to
fine.
say, yeah, she's a fan favorite,
I'm
save
used to
her
it.
or
We
anything.
have to save
Don't
Sean.
forget
He's my
to
buddy.
line up another player.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
no
want to point
shit.
out, I jumped into the water to help you.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And it was noble, and he almost drowned for it. But that is our
I'm
show.
about I'm about to take on
Ah!
zombies for her.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, we just really appreciate it from each and every one of you. Y'all are fantastic, and the support means so much. Hit that follow button and stick around for Sunday. It's just episode 2 of 50 Fathoms. They still don't know a goddamn
Yeah.
thing about the world, so you can
Oh, I
discover
love it.
Charybdis with them, which is exciting. Fantasy creatures. There's a giant crab person that's helping them just until they die so he can eat them after they've decayed.
Yeah.
Uh,
It works.
And we're being attacked by raptors.
That's right.
Yeah.
A triple Velociraptor cliffhanger. Still, it's got nothing on this one. But on that note,
Nope.
even if you don't follow the channel, if you like what we do, why don't you share us? You can hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? You can join the Discord, become a part of the community, really start engaging. Maybe get recruited for a show yourself. Maybe you're sitting on the outskirts going, man, I'd love to play in one of these. Well, we are always looking for more people with that vibe, that je ne sais quoi, right? And you may very well have it, but that remains to be discovered because you haven't joined the Discord yet. So do that and join us Sunday for 50 Fathoms. From the League of Gentlemen Explorers to yourself, may your dice always roll hot. Have just a wonderful evening, everybody. Cheers.